having a day. It is good to see each and every one of you that have joined us at this very moment. Hi, Ubong, please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, loud and clear.
All right, thank you so much. So we're jumping back into our conversation, which is basically on global immigration changes and AI. The sad reality for those who will lose their jobs. Most time when we talk about these things, people think we are agents of disruption. We are here to sow a seed that, okay, that people are going to lose their jobs, but we have to be prepared for what is going to come. So the main question that each and every one of us is going to ask ourselves by the time that we are done with this session is, am I ready for what the future is requesting us to have? Okay. But before we jump right into this session, I would love to know you and also know where you are joining us from. So my name is Chukwemeka. All right, just put your name, Aisha, UK, Benjamin from US, Abdulmajid from Nigeria, and so on and so forth, so that we get to know each other before we jump right into the session immediately. Okay, so let's quickly do that so that we can be able to communicate effectively. All right, I can see Sandra joining us from UK. Fantastic, it's good to have you on the call. Sandra, UK, Abdul Majid, UK, Olumuyewa, UK, Joy from Canada, Michael, UK, Ella, UK. I think we have most people joining us from United Kingdom today. We have Daniel as well joining us from UK, Harry from UK, Florence from Nigeria, Shegu from Nigeria, as well as Emmanuel from Ghana. So we have UK, we have Canada, we have Ghana, we have Nigeria right now. Okay, 4 different countries are fully represented here. So if you know that your own country is yet to register their presence, please feel free to also type in your name and where you are joining us from. So this enables us to also know how vast each people coming here, the connection that we can have. One amazing thing that tech shows you is that on this call alone, you have the tendency to make connections beyond your current region. Okay, you can see Rajesh joining from Nepal. You can see Calvin from US. You can see Pretty Damsel from London. So all these gives you that vast connection, and that is the beauty of the tech ecosystem. All right, we'll have close to 5 countries fully represented here. Okay, we'll have James from Sri Lanka. That makes it 6 countries. Okay, and I also love to know if today is the first time that you are joining our session. So if today is your first time of being here, just type in a 1 in the comment section. If you've been here before, feel free to type in any number as well. I can see Morenike from Sweden. Fantastic. That's 7 countries fully represented here. Fantastic. It's not an easy thing to have sessions like this where people join from different countries outside there. Okay. And before we jump right into this, if you know anyone that is going to benefit from the conversation that we are going to be having this afternoon, please feel free to share the link to this conversation with that person. Your family member, your colleagues, your friend, even your enemy. Anyone that you feel like, oh, this person deserves to know what's going on with respect to global immigration and changes relating to AI, and also the sad reality of for those that are going to lose their jobs. Please feel free to share the link to this conversation to them. All right. And for everyone that today is their first time, please, my colleagues are going to be dropping a link in the comment section. Don't be scared. Just fill it. It's for you to be able to get the slide that we're using for this conversation and also the recorded version of everything that we are going to be discussing. All right. So once you fill in the form, by the end of this conversation, we are going to share the slides with you. So even if you dropped off at any point, you still have access to every single discussion that we are going to be having this afternoon. All right, so we're going to jump right into it without wasting much time. We are going to jump right into it. Now, who exactly is organizing this event? So we are 10Analytics, okay, and we're leading educational technology company that is helping people of the Black community to get the tech skills that they need for them to break into career paths. Okay, we have 5 years of experience actually helping different people from different regions, people in UK, US, Canada, Europe, as well as Africa. From the initial introduction that we just had, can clearly see that we have people joining from all those different regions. Okay, and for the last 5 years that we've been doing this, we've helped close to 3,000 people to move from their present situation to landing a job that is going to give them what they're looking for. All right. And how exactly do we do this? Okay. So we leverage the experience that our professionals and consultants already have. Okay, so when you come to us, what we do is you are consulting and interning with us while learning this exact skill. So what it simply means is that you are not coming to start learning, okay, what is data, what is cybersecurity, what is that? You are learning using the practical approach. And this means that you have the opportunity to get experience while also learning. Okay, and we have consultants that join us from different companies. People join from McKinsey, people from Google, people from Sahara Group, and so many other companies. And this is how we easily transfer the knowledge that we have into each and every one of you. All right, so today we're going to be having a very interesting conversation. All right, but before we move on, who am I that I've been speaking for the last 5 minutes? My name is Emeka Ikpa, and for the last couple of years, close to a decade now, I've served in several departments. I used to work as a governance, risk and compliance specialist in the banking sector. I've worked as head of control in the fintech. I've also worked as a data analyst innovator for a fintech organization, as well as a business growth consultant in the hospitality space. But right now, I am the CEO of Tanalytics. We have personally helped close to 1,500 individuals without any tech experience move into landing their first jobs across the globe. Okay, so my experience spans across the financial service sector, the capital markets, hospitality. Connect with me on free to connect at LinkedIn at Emeka Ikpa, or at Twitter at Emeka_Heist, or Instagram at Ikpa_Chooks. And we are going to take this conversation quickly, without wasting much time, let's jump into what we have for today. Okay, I know many of us are very eager to understand what we are going to be discussing. Okay, but first thing I want all of us to talk about is from the different countries that we're joining right now, there are several immigration changes that we are already experiencing. Okay, people joining from Sri Lanka, people from Sweden, people from UK, Canada, Nigeria. No matter where you are joining us from, there is definitely one immigration change that happened in the last couple of years. Okay, whether in the last couple of years, in the last couple of months or days, as the case may be, there is one change that they've already made, and they are all tilting towards how do we bring in the best talents to our location? All right, how do we bring in our best talents into this country? Okay, so whether you're in the UK or whether you're in the US or whether you're in Canada or whether you're in Australia or even South Africa, the major discussion that all these countries bring in our best talent into all these places. Okay, how do we bring in our best talent into our country? So if you are in UK or you are in Nigeria or you're in Ghana, you're looking for ways for you to get into all those places. Most important thing you have to ask yourself is, what and what do I need to do to present myself worthy to come to these countries? Okay, that is one question I want all of us to ask ourselves. What and what do I need to do to present myself worthy to come into these countries? Okay, so I don't know how many of us that have asked ourselves some of these questions. All right, how many of us that have asked ourselves some of these questions? What and what do I need to do for me to get into these places? Okay, so I don't know. Please feel free to drop it in the comment section right now. Have you asked yourself, or you are in some of those countries and you're looking, how do you stay permanently here? Have you asked yourself, what and what do I need to do for me to be permanently here? I know many of us, we know these things, but the difficulty is, how do I go about it? How do I go about it? Okay, so once you're able to answer that question, you have the answer to what you need to do. All right, once you are able to answer that question, you have the answer to what you need to do. So in the UK alone, there are several changes that have been done, and we're going to be looking at the UK fully. All right. Then in the Canada as well, there are also changes that are also done to the express entry. Okay, as well as in South Africa. Now let's have a deeper look into some of these changes that have actually happened. Okay, so number one thing I want all of us to understand is that there are changes coming on. Okay, so let's look at the UK environment. Before now, if you are going for a job that is between RQF of level 3, you can actually get sponsored easily. But right now, with the current changes that have happened, you need at least a job that is going to give you RQF of level 6 for you to get to that point. All right? A job that will give you that for you to get to that point. So, how and which jobs can actually get you to this point of what you are looking for? All right, so these are questions that you have to ask yourself. What I'm currently doing right now, is it within the bracket of what is going to give me my COS? All right, and once you realize that, oh, this is not going to give me what I'm looking for, it means that you need to move towards the aspect that is going to give you what you are looking for. All right, you need to move towards that aspect of what you're looking for. So if you're in UK before now and you are tilting towards possibly the health sector, or support work, or some of those other jobs that we used to rush towards that is categorized around RQF of level 3. It simply means that there is fire on the mountain. All right? There is fire on the mountain because if your plan is to move through that direction, there is already an issue. All right? Because that job may not be able to give you what you are looking for. Then number two, also in the Canadian space, but don't we need a degree in tech? Fantastic question, Daniel. So Daniel, I'm going to clearly show us how we are going to navigate this clearly. All right. For instance, many of people that I know in the tech ecosystem, they do not have a degree from tech. They have studied something that is entirely different, but right now they are in the tech ecosystem. How were they able to do that? Okay, so we are going to handle every single way that you are going to be able to do this. Okay, so in the Canadian space as well, the global talent stream is one of the specialized ways that you can easily also be able to get into those countries. And it also boils down to your talent. All right, it also boils down to your talent. I had a friend back in Nigeria that when she was living in a Ibadan and she wanted to move to United Kingdom that year. Now, first question she asked herself is she ready to go back to school, or does she have what it takes to go through a different route? Okay, she didn't go through school route, but today she's comfortably in United Kingdom working fully. Now, all this thing boils down to the skill that you have. And I'm going to show you all those particular skills that is going to help you to easily be able to get into any of these places. Also in the United States as well, if you're looking at the O1 visa or H1B, the same thing is also applicable to them. They are all skill-based, okay? Do what you have, does it equate to what is going to give you the visa that you are looking for? So all these things are things that you have to consider before making your move. All right, for people in Australia as well, we have the skilled immigration program, okay? And it's also around gaps that the governments have noticed. How do we make people to come into these places with regards to the gap that we have here? Now, many people, once there is immigration changes, we start fidgeting. But the truth is that once they are closing doors for some people, they are also opening doors for other group of people. All right. So once they close this door for someone, they open a window. I think that's the best way to put it. They open a window for someone else entirely. And for you to be able to jump through that window into that country that you want to get into, you need to be able to understand the things that you have to do. All right. And we are going to be talking about that clearly. So let's have a look clearly from the UK own fully. All right. So there's been a lot of changes from the United Kingdom in particular. Okay. And one of the changes that I've seen in this place is that whether they move from shortage occupation list to eligible occupation list, there are some certain key jobs, there are some occupations that is still very much needed. All right. Now, one of the policy changes they made is that, okay, for a graduate visa, it's only going to last you for 18 months instead of the initial 2 years that we all had before now. But the clarity is this: when you have these skills that you are looking for, 18 months is a long time for you to actually be able to land a job easily. Okay, 18 months is more than enough for you to actually be able to get into those jobs. But the challenge is this. Many of us will come out and answer, oh, I am a data engineer. Oh, I am a data scientist. I'm an IT business analyst. But do you have those skills that they are looking for? Now, that's the major question that many of us lack. Do you have the skill that they are looking for? Do you have the experience to back it up? Do you have an employer to say, oh, this person have actually worked with us and you can vouch for what he or she has done in the past? So once you're able to tick off all these different points, you can easily get to where you want to be. Okay, and one of the other changes that also happened is, like I've already mentioned, the RQF of level 6 plus rows. So before now, once you are within RQF of level 3, you can easily be able to get sponsorships. But right now, it has moved to RQF of level 6. And one thing that I've realized is that no matter any change that UK is doing, all those jobs always fall within these brackets. So no matter the changes that they keep making, the jobs always fall within these brackets. Business analysis, data analytics, data science, data engineer, financial analyst, HR analyst, cybersecurity, agile project manager. And it's not just this one. There are other roles also that fall into this. So what I want all of us to do is, once you get this slide, just simply click on this link that we have here. So once you click there, it's going to bring you to this page that is fully discussing everything that pertains to this. All right, it's going to bring you to the page where all the eligible lists are fully. Okay, Daniel is giving me, I'm towards the end of my university. Okay, Daniel, every single question that we have, we are going to answer it. You agree with me that if we start taking questions right now, your questions, the answers are already even in what we are going to talk about, okay? So just hang on. We are fully going to touch base with that exact question that you have, okay? So clearly, once you click on that link, it's going to bring you to this page, right? The skill work visa. And once you are there, you can easily start seeing, okay, which one actually is going to give me what I am looking for. All right, for instance, let's go to our slide. On our slide, you can easily see that we have, let's look at cyber security, which is 2135. That's the code, 2135. So right there, if you scroll through the page entire, that's the UK government page, 2135. Let's quickly look for 2135. 2135. You can see cyber security professionals, and it pertains to cyber operational defense specialists, cyber security management and governance specialists, forensic computer specialists, and so on and so forth. Highly skilled. All right. So this is to show you what they are actually looking for. Can also see IT project managers, and which is around 2131. When you go to our slide as well, we are going to see that IT project managers are also part of what we are talking about, which is around agile project management, which is this 2135. So clearly, you can see that all these jobs, no matter how they want to switch their own style, whether they want to move from shortage occupation list to eligible occupation list, there are certainties of the skills that they are always going to be looking out for. Okay, now the question is, do you have the skill for you to be able to answer any of these names? Okay, and when I always mention this to people, you don't need to have a degree from this exact sector. I studied civil engineering. Today, I'm the CEO of a tech company. My founder studied industrial chemistry. My co-founder studied economics. Today, we all run a tech company. And what does that tell you? Your initial background does not matter in the tech ecosystem. All right? Your initial background does not matter in the tech ecosystem. Okay, what you need is the skill for you to show yourself that you can do this job. Because when it comes to employment, nobody is going to ask you, what certificate are you coming with? The discussion is always going to be tilted towards, what skill do you have? All right? What skill do you have? And when you are not able to present a certain skill, you've actually lost out already. Okay, and we're using UK as an example to show you that all these things also trickles down to the other countries, whether you're in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, Sweden, Sri Lanka, Nigeria, South Africa. All these jobs are the most in-demand career path. And I'm going to show you all of them before this session is over. Okay, so one key metric that I've also realized is that just UK alone, in 2024, there was a 15% increase in immigration. And this is showing you the opportunities that are also there. And then in US alone, visa applications increased by 20%, right? And they're also tilting towards the tech visa, as well as when you look at the talent attraction in Australia, 10% rise in also talent visa approvals with regards to the tech ecosystem. Now, what all these things is showing you is that people are actually getting in there. The challenge is now, what do you need to do for it to be amongst those people that will have this opportunity? All right, there's what our parents used to do back in the those days. When you come back and maybe you are the third or fourth person in your class, and your mommy or your dad is going to ask you, the person that came first, does he or she have two heads? Now, this is the same thing that we're also trying to make you see. People are actually getting these things. But the most important thing is, do you have what it takes for you to be able to get there? Once you're able to tick all those boxes, you can easily be amongst the people that can land all those jobs. And with the rise in AI, there are a lot of transformation with how visa applications are even checked now. All right. I know US made a new one for people in Nigeria that for you to apply for anyone, you have to also provide your social media accounts for the last 5 years. Now, all these things, how are they tracking it? Okay, it's because of the rise in AI, they are able to also utilize them to track their applications and things that people are submitting. Now, that same AI that they are using, what it simply means is that there is a new pathway for skilled workers towards these aspects. I know many of us have heard about AI, 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 AI. How do I get into this? All right. How do I get a bite of all this noise about AI? Someone told me something that, oh, there's vibe coding out there and easily utilize one of the LLMs to write probes and be able to push products. That is 100% possible. Vibe coding is a thing right now. These are people that with no coding experience, they are writing codes using generative AIs. Now, you also can key into all these opportunities and pathway that AI is also creating for us. But the question is, do you have what it takes? All right. So after, as a Sri Lankan, a lot of my Nigerian friends are struggling to find also with them. All right. Thank you, Daniel. Okay. So all these things boils down to, are you ready to do? Are you ready to actually take the work? Okay. So you can see a testimonial from someone that joined us last November. Her name is Mary. So Mary had no experience in tech and was working shifts in United Kingdom. Can I agree with me that once you land easily, the first thing we always do is, okay, where am I going to get the easiest opportunity for myself? And it's always towards either the health sector or the construction sector. But another question you need to ask yourself is, after you've gotten that soft landing, is that a place that you want to stay forever? In the next 5 years, is that where you want to be? Okay, so when she joined our program, Business Analysis, in November 2024, she got her own sponsorship in March 2025. Okay, and that's after she secured a job as a business data analyst with NatWest on full visa sponsorship. Okay, you can see the email that she got from the Home Office telling her about the approval of her own application. So all these things are possible. But first question you need to ask yourself is, how can I get into it? And that's one thing I'm promising you today, okay? So by the end of this session, you clearly understand the in-demand jobs as well as the exact steps for you to position yourself for all those jobs that is going to give you the visa sponsorship, okay? All those jobs that are going to give you what you need regarding this. Mr. P, on the advert I saw on IG, I saw that you offer a course on medical imaging analysis. I'm interested in knowing about this, but I noticed it's not listed on the form. Fantastic medical imaging analysis. I'll walk you through that on a short while, Mr. P. Okay, now one major thing I'll also mention to people is that these shifts is across all backgrounds, whether you're in the science space, whether you're in the arts community, or whether you have no background at all. It is possible for you to have a bite of this apple, right? It is very much possible for you to key into this process. Now, I'm going to show us a couple of people that have been able to do this. And the reason why we always attach these things here is for you to be able to go through the slide and also be able to hear from their own experience. Now, we have Evelyn. Evelyn transitioned from being a 15 years nurse to becoming a data engineer. All right, so once you get the slide, simply click on her picture and you can easily hear what Evelyn had to say. All right, my colleague Ubong is dropping the form. Okay, we also have this guy that wants to keep his name anonymous. He transitioned from being a medical doctor to also becoming a data analyst. All right, now for someone that is already in the space of the medical line, it's easier for them to understand analysis and tilt it to what the hospital sector is asking for. Now, the truth is that most of these guys that transitioned, they still work in the hospital, but they are no more working in the hospital as a nurse or as a medical doctor or as a pharmacist. They're now working in analysis department, all right? Departments that allows them to fully work remotely, department that allows them to also be able to come in once in a while, because these are things that most of them are looking out for. Evelyn transition from being a nurse to becoming a data engineer. John transition from being a medical doctor to also an analyst, as well as Toyin from being a pharmacist to becoming a data analyst. Now, this is to show you that for people coming from the health background, it is possible for you to also make this switch. All right, it is possible for you to make this switch and fully align to the tech ecosystem. Okay, and also, we have something for people coming from the different non-science background, right? We have Temi Vogan. So Temi used to be a lawyer, but he transitioned to also become a data analyst, all right? A business analyst rather. So he transitioned to become a business analyst. This same thing is what Osa Obo did. She transitioned from being a salesperson to also the business analysis space, as well as Ngozi transitioning from being a customer service rep into becoming a business analyst. Now, there's always a question of how do I know the place for me to transition into? I'm coming from a background that doesn't have anything to do with tech. How do I know a place for me to transition into? I'm going to answer all those questions. But first, let's also hear what Ikmat had to say. Ikma transitioned from a no background at all. She prides herself as a full-time stay-at-home mom, but she was able to move from being a full-time stay-at-home mom to landing two jobs with full visa sponsorships that she had to make the selection of the one that she wants. Right? And this is to show you that it is highly possible for you to also make this switch. So in the next 2 minutes, let's hear what Ikmat actually had to say about her own transition. I think this is supposed to play. Quickly, let me see why and why it is not playing. All right, so that we can hear quickly how Ikmat was able to also make her own transitioning. All right, okay, it is not here. I'm going to play the video before this session is over. But for her, Ikmat's story wasn't all juicy and all, because she joined our program. 1 month into the program, she landed a job, but she was not able to take it up because she was still a student in the UK and had limited working time. So she didn't instantly take up the job. All right. But 2 months after she finished her own training, she was able to land two jobs with full visa sponsorship. And she had to sit down and choose the one that she wanted. Okay. So this is to show you that it is possible. But did she actually get no's? Yes. The no's also came because after she was done with her own training, 1 month she was applying, nothing came. 2 months she was applying, nothing. Then after that second month, she was able to land two jobs with two visa sponsorship, and she had to make her selection. So some of us, we actually give up after we've gotten our no's. We feel like, oh no, this is not meant for me. But it is carefully meant for every one of us. The most important thing is, are you transitioning from a career path that you have transferable skill? Now, what do I mean by transferable skill? I'm going to give us an example. So this is myself. Let me call myself Mr. C. All right. And Mr. C used to be a teacher back in Nigeria. So Mr. C is a teacher in Nigeria. As a teacher in Nigeria, Mr. C have traveled to United Kingdom, and I'm looking to transition to tech. Now, first question I have to ask myself is, as a teacher in Nigeria, what transferable skills do I have that will enable me break into tech? Okay, so as a teacher, you had instances where you interacted with these three different groups of people. Let's call them the parents, all right? Because as a teacher back in Nigeria, you've interacted with the parents, you've interacted with the students, as well as the management of the institution. So by virtue of interacting with all these people, you have done what we call stakeholder analysis, because all these guys play a role as stakeholders in this school that you are teaching. So you have carried out what we call stakeholder analysis. Now, the question that Mr. C has to ask himself is, which tech career path has stakeholder analysis as part of skills for people coming into it? And the answer is simple. That is business analysis. All right, business analysis. So what this simply means is that by virtue of Mr. C being a teacher back in Nigeria, he practiced stakeholder analysis, and that's a skill that is meant for business analysts. So if he's looking to transition to tech, the easiest career path that he can decide to transition through is simply business analysis. All right. And why he's not transitioning as a business analyst, he can comfortably be able to speak to recruiters. Oh, while I was in Nigeria, I've actually worked as a business analyst as well. Okay. But remember, he was a teacher, but he may not be able to defend every single thing that business analysts do, which is why after you've identified the inherent skill that you had, the transferable skill that you are coming with, after you've identified it, next thing that you need to do is to now carefully train yourself on that exact skill or career path. So after you've identified that, oh, business analysis is the transferable skill that I had because I function as a stakeholder analyst while being a teacher, the best thing you can do at that point is now for you to learn business analysis proper, so that when you are asked questions, when you go through it, can comfortably now relate what you did back in Nigeria as a teacher to this business analysis career path. But if you are not able to learn the skill, you instantly start branding yourself. Oh, I'm actually a business analyst. So if someone is not asking you, okay, what do I need to do? What is BRD? Okay, how do I map out these processes? You may not actually know how to do it. So even though that transferable skill is existing, there is still need for you to get those skills, okay, and be fully trained so that when you speak, you're not going to be speaking that, oh, I'm just a new person trying to transition to business analysis. No, you're not going to be speaking, even those 3 years of experience that you had in your own country as a teacher, as a different person, can comfortably brand it that you've been a business analyst back in those days. And that's because you can comfortably be able to defend them. I don't know if we're all following to this very moment. Are we all following? Are we all following me to this moment? Do you understand how this works? So clearly, we can see that Mr. C, he used to be a teacher, but he can now comfortably brand himself as a business analyst because he's identified those transferable skills. Can I do 2 skills at a time, like business analysis and data analytics? San Homela, the answer is actually no. All right, it is possible, but unless you can be in 2 places at the same time. All right, but just hang on. I'm going to explain all these things. Myself, like you all noticed, I used to be a banker. I used to work in the banking sector, IT section. And then because I was in the control department compliance, it was easier for me to transition through GRC. which was an aspect of cybersecurity. Now I've gotten into cybersecurity, so it's now easy for me to now blend back to data analytics, move to business analytics because I'm already in that space. All right. So once you identify the place that you have transferable skill through, the next thing you need to do is for you to now break into the tech career path and then be able to function in that space. Now, after you've already gotten into that space, next thing is now for you to, be moving from one sector to the other, from one career path to the other. I hope we are all following. I hope we are all following me. For one reason or the other, my screen is not moving again. My laptop is not responding. So just quickly, let me quickly resolve that and make sure that we continue this discussion. All right, just 1 minute. Let me resolve that and make sure that we continue this discussion. All right, I think that should be up now. Just 1 minute. But are we all fully? Someone is asking, I'm sorry for coming in late. Okay, if you're just coming, all right, my colleague Ubong is dropping the link in the comment section. Okay, so make sure you fill that attendance form. With the attendance form, you can easily be able to get the slide that we're using for this conversation, as well as the recorded version of this meeting. So it means that by the end of this conversation, we are going to be sending the link and the slide to every single person that joined this call today. All right, we are going to be sharing it with everyone. But quickly, while I'm bringing up my slide, someone else is asking, how about cybersecurity? Okay, so all these things is actually possible. So if you are, for instance, Nusa, if you are this teacher and you are your own path that you're looking to get into is cybersecurity, there is already a disconnection. Okay, there is already a disconnection. Now, can you actually get into cybersecurity? Yes, you can. You can, but the challenge there now is that you have to give more for you to be able to get into that sector. You have to give more. It's not going to be easier for you anymore because you are coming from a background that you do not have transferable skills into. All right, you are coming from a background that you do not have transferable skills into. Okay, just 1 second, guys. For some reason, my laptop is really hanging a lot today. Okay, is this one being recorded? Yes, it is being recorded. Now, someone is asking again. Okay, now, after you've seen that cybersecurity is not your own career path because you do not have that transferable skill, if you now decide, oh, I still want to actually get into cybersecurity, I still want to be able to get into cybersecurity because that is where I want to be. Remember, it is possible for you to do it, but just that it is not going to be easy for you to now break into it. And you are not going to lack that transferable skill that recruiters are looking for. You are going to lack that transferable skill that recruiters are looking for because the easiest way for you to transition is with your already existing transferable skill. I hope that makes sense to you, Nosa. Okay? All I know is that you are a very good and okay, Daniel. All right, thank you so much, Daniel. Okay, for some reason, my second screen is hanging and I'm trying to bring it up, guys. Just 1 second or 1 minute and it should be back up again. Just 1 minute and it should be up again, please. Okay, but while we are doing that, if you have any question, please feel free to drop it in the comment section so that I can easily also take all those questions right now that my second screen is about to come up. All right, now one major question I want all of us to also ask ourselves is this. One major question I want everyone on this call to ask themselves is this. Where I am coming from and where I want to get to, what do I need to do? Okay, where I'm coming from and where I need to get to, what exactly do I need to do? So I made a very good example using this teacher. What's my transferable skill if I'm in HR? Fantastic question and home. Now, if you're a HR person, for instance, there is one major skill that we all know that you have, and that is you have the people skill, you have the analytics skill, You have some other skill, communication skill already exists there. Now, you now have to ask yourself, where are all these things tilting towards in the tech ecosystem? All right. Which career paths are they all tilting towards in the tech ecosystem? The easiest place I can tell you that every single one of them fall under is simply HR analytics. All right. That's what we call HR analytics, people analysts. Now, that is the easiest place that they all fall into. Because if you look at the career paths that you currently, the skills that you currently have, and the place that it tilts in the tech ecosystem, easily you see that if you decide to move in from the tech or from the HR analytics industry, it's going to be easier for you. Now, after seeing this, if you now say, oh, but I want to be a cybersecurity person, and you're now transitioning through cybersecurity, it is possible, but it's simply now going to be harder for you to make all those transitions. There was only business analysis. All right, just check clearly, San. I'm sure there is HR analyst in that. Okay, so Ifeoma just said that it is there as well. Okay, Sam, just scroll down perfectly. I'm sure that it is there for you to be able to also click on it. All right, so my screen should be back up in the next 2 minutes. I had to restart my entire device right now. This is a very, very, very comfortable one, but we are back up and I am ready to rock and roll. So after you've identified this transferable skill, and even if you don't know the transferable skill that you have, we'll have a quiz where everyone is going to take that quiz for you to easily identify what transferable skill do I have. For instance, we have close to 100 people on this call. You agree with me that it might be hard for me to, be answering 100 people right now instantly. Okay, but with that quiz, it simply means that you can easily on your own take that quiz and be able to find out the transferable skill that you have and where it is actually tilting towards. Okay, you find out the transferable skill that you have and where it is tilting towards. Hi, Ubong, please make my second device a co-host so that I can be able to share my screen. Okay, fantastic. I think it is back up now. Okay, my screen should be up in the next 1 minute and we should continue immediately. All right, so sorry for that little break in transmission. This is some of the things that we see in these technologies that we actually also utilize. Now, after you've been able to identify all these skills, what exactly do you need to do for you now to be able to land job? Remember what I said earlier? What you need to do at that point is very simple. And number one is you need to learn the skill. You need to understand this skill that I've seen that I have transferable skill into. I don't know it fully. So I need to learn it. So you need to learn and then you need to package yourself. Packaging is very, very crucial. I'm going to speak extensively on that. All right. So I traveled to Nigeria around early this year, and we're trying to have collaboration with some universities in Nigeria. And there's one major question that one of the vice chancellors of one of the universities asked me. I mean, if you look at me, I'm very, very young. So he asked me, how many years of experience do I have? I already know where he's trying to box me up with that question. So I simply mentioned, oh, our management team has close to 50 years of experience. Now, I'm not even close to 50 years. But myself, my co-founder, my founder, collectively, our experience is close to 50 years. Okay, and that is how I was able to repackage his question and give him the answer that would suit what he was trying to get at. Now, this is how you, as someone that has some skills, need to also know how do you package yourself. Then application of job is now very, very crucial. You need to apply to jobs like your life depends on it. We are going to speak extensively on these things in the next couple of minutes. And once you're able to do these three things, trust me, you are going to land that job easily. Once you're able to learn, once you're able to package yourself and apply to the job, you are going to land that job. This is the same thing that most people that come to us were able to do. Now, the person that asked me about HR, also let me show you something. You can see that Judith, she had a background in HR in Nigeria, okay? But when she moved to UK, she was working as a carer while she was also studying. But she said, this is not where I want to be. So she identified that she's someone that loves to talk, communicate to people, converse with people. And because of that, business analysis was best suiting for her. Okay, so she joined the program in March 2024, completed it, and also partook in the packaging processes. Her CV was tailored, she joined mentorship sessions, and she applied to multiple jobs from our own alternative job board. And she was able to land a job in July 2024 as a business analyst in Huddersfield. And this is to show you that it is fully possible, right? So like I said earlier, make sure you fill the form that my colleagues are dropping so that by the end of this session, you can easily click on the links that we have and be able to hear directly from their own mouths, okay? Now, remember, first thing I said is you need to learn the skill. Now, which skill exactly do you need to learn? Okay, number one thing I always mention to people is that there's so many noise, there's so many news, there's so many information out there. So you need to sieve out the ones that you take in. So what we did from our own side is that we've analyzed several job boards, Glassdoor, CV Library, Indeed, and we got the major jobs that were posted in the last year. And then we passed through what we call the World Economic Forum report. Now, through the World Economic Forum report, we had one thing in mind. We don't want people to get into jobs that is not going to be relevant in the next coming years. So we need to validate what's global view on some of these jobs. Are they in demand or they are not in demand? So we have to pass it through the World Economic Forum report. And then lastly, we have to also carry out regional analysis. For instance, in the United Kingdom, is there amongst the jobs that you need that will give you eligible occupation for the skilled worker visa route? Okay. In the US, for an example, is there among the job also that if you have that skill, you have high possibility of getting the H-1B visa? Okay, as well as if you are in Canada, is it amongst the jobs that's going to give you those provincial nominee programs? Okay, so we have to pass all these jobs through this, and that's how we were able to come up with only these 8 courses that we offer right now. Number 1 is business analysis. Number 2 is data analytics. Number 3, data science, agile project management, data engineer, cybersecurity, and also HR analytics and financial analytics. So you can see that we don't offer every single career path outside because possibly they didn't meet some of the criteria that we were looking out for. Okay, but all the jobs that we saw passed through the World Economic Forum in the next 5 years, are these jobs going to be valid? In the end, we're able to get all these 8 career paths. Now, what exactly did the World Economic Forum say? So what it mentioned is that in the next 5 years, there are several jobs that are going to be created. In fact, 170 million jobs are going to be created fresh, right? 170 million jobs are going to be created fresh. Now, out of these 170 million jobs, which is represented in these green boxes right here, we also have 92 million jobs that are going to disappear. So the same way jobs are being created, that is the same way jobs are also going to disappear. So that is part of what we are here to talk about. Remember the topic of what our discussion is today, for you to also understand the sad reality of jobs that are not going to be there. So all these red boxes here represent jobs that are going to disappear. The one in these green segments represent jobs that are going to be created fresh. While these blue segments represent stable jobs. So what you want to do is either you remain in this blue side or you move towards this green region entirely. But make sure that you run away from this red side. Make sure that you run away from this red side. Okay, and what and which career paths are actually the ones that are in demand? Those 470 million jobs are going to be created. Where exactly are they? So if you also look at that World Economic Forum report, there's a segment called the Future of Jobs report. So every year, world leaders, economic leaders, they all come together to have some certain discussions pertaining to jobs. And from there, you can easily see that the fastest growing job as of today, the most demanded career path as of today is the big data specialist. All right, that is the big data specialist. So if you can see, number 1, big data specialist, and also we have data warehousing specialists, we as well have data engineers. And this all validates that data engineering is in demand and is one of the jobs that you have to be looking out for. Okay. Our next one is you're looking at data analyst and data science. So in all those fast-growing jobs also, you are seeing AI and machine learning specialists. So when you hear about AI and machine learning specialists, it talks about data scientists. All right. And they have down here data analysts and scientists as well, which validates that data analysts and data science, they're also in demand and amongst the fastest growing jobs. Then you have your information security, you have your security management specialist, as well as your Internet of Things guy. And these all relates to cyber security. So it validates that cyber security is also there. As well as when you look down, you are seeing process automation specialists, which in the demand is also business analysis. Now, if you look closely, there are some jobs or there are some career paths that even though they're in high demand, we don't offer them right now. For instance, you can see DevOps engineer here, you can see renewable energy engineer, robotics engineer, blockchain developers. Now, for instance, if you want to be a robotics engineer, let me ask this question as simple as it can be. Is there anyone here that think that they have transferable skill into robotics engineering or blockchain development? Now, the answer is always no. And that's why we don't offer some of these jobs, because we make sure that all the career paths that we have here meet three major criteria. And the number one of them is ease of learning, which means that career path is a career path that you can easily learn. All right. Then ease of transitioning, which means that you need to have a lot of people with transferable skill towards that sector. And of course, high rewarding salary. So DevOps engineer, robotics engineer, blockchain, renewable energy engineer, and things like that, are they going to give you high rewarding salary? Yes. But will it give you that ease of learning? The answer is no. Okay, is it going to give you that ease of transitioning right now? The answer is no as well. And that's because not a lot of people have transferable skills towards that direction. All right. So in the next page, you also see the other career paths that are also in demand. So all the career paths that you see on the left-hand side, they all represent jobs that are going to grow. All right. While the ones that you're seeing on this right-hand side represent jobs that are going to decline. Okay, so you can go still seeing data engineers, data analysts, agile product management, business analysts. And then some people are going to ask, okay, where's HR and financial analysts? Now, when you talk about data analysts, there are several segments embedded inside it. Inside it, you have your people analysts, you have your financial analysts, you have your imaging analysts, and several other analytics that is embedded in it. It is like you're not a data analyst, but you're not specialized in that aspect of people data or specialized in the aspect of financial data. That is why it is also amongst the career path that is well in demand. Now, if you look at these down parts, remember I said that this side represents jobs that are going to decline. You can see clearly, let me just bring it out from this place. Let me bring it out from this place. All right, so clearly from this page, from this place downwards, you can see accountants and auditors down. So all these are the fastest declining career paths. As of today, the most number one fastest declining career path as of today is postal service clerks and bank tellers. So if you look through these downward parts, you're going to notice that majority of the career paths there, they're all tilting towards clerks. You have postal clerk, bank tellers and clerk, data entry clerks, cashier and ticketing clerk, administrative clerk, and so on and so forth. But there is one that actually stood out for me here. Can easily see graphic designers. When I saw this, I didn't believe my eye. Why are graphic designers actually declining? Okay, I can tell you for a fact that if you go through my Instagram, you're going to see a couple of posts that I was able to make. I'm not a graphic designer, but what do I simply do? If I go to Canva, Canva has an AI embedded inside it. I can tell Canva what I want to design, and Canva is going to give me that exact thing. Okay, and because of this advance in all these AI tools, some people are actually declining. Graphic designers, they are among the fastest skill-based careers that are declining. Now, as a graphic designer, what do you now need to do to improve yourself and bring yourself out of that decline? So that's the point when I start looking at, okay, how do I move myself from not just being a graphic designer but possibly to becoming maybe a motion graphics person. Even motion graphics, Google VO is now even coming for them as well. So consistently, there are different things coming up that is actually also a threat to our jobs. But what Economic Forum has done is to identify the jobs that are foolproof in the next 5 to 10 years, which means AI coming into them is to assist you for you to be able to utilize it. So when we get into talking about all those courses, you're going to see that you are also going to be learning how do I utilize AI as a data analyst for me to be able to be more optimized. So all these things are very necessary for you to know. So at this point, I don't know if there are people that are yet to identify a career path that is meant for them. So this is the quiz that I talked about. What transferable skills do I need to transition to cybersecurity? Fantastic question, no, sir. So this quiz, we are all going to take it together, all right? Once you click on this link that my colleagues are going to drop in the comment section, or let me also drop it for us. So let me click on it. Once I click on it, it's going to bring me to this page. And what I need to do is for me to now take the quiz to find where my own transferable skills are tilting towards. Okay, you need to take the quiz for you to find out where do you have transferable skills. So I always mention to people that one major mistake that we make is when we're looking to break into tech, we are actually jumping into any tech career path that we see out there without looking for which one is going to give me what I'm looking for. So I just dropped the link. All right, so once you click on that link, it's going to bring you to this page where you are expected to take the quiz. So let's all get started and see the career paths that we are actually more affiliated to. Okay, so once you get into it, just click on let's go and just continue. It's simple. Just put in your name. My name is Chukwu Emeka Ekpa. Okay, I need to put my last name here, Ekpa. All right, so once you do that, my mobile number, let me use this one. All right, my email address is chukwuemeka@10analytics.io. So once you do these things and simply agree to processing of personal data, simply click on next. Once you do this, you're going to see some of the questions that is now going to come out for you. How do you feel in group settings or team discussions? All these things is now to find out the career path that you have transferable skill towards. For instance, I thrive, I love engaging, leading, or just connecting. I am selective, I like people, but I need balance. I prefer to work solo or behind the scene. You now have to identify your own personality, okay? I'm selective, I like people, but I actually need balance as well. What best describes your current or most recent job? Okay, so I'm going to look at it: caregiver, nurse, healthcare aide, customer service, retail admin, teacher, educator, finance, accounting, marketing, sales, operations, unemployed, freelancer, career switch, and so on and so forth. I have to select the one that is also tilting towards your own personality. For me, let's assume, I'm a teacher by virtue of what I'm doing right now. And then which of these sounds most like me? I like solving problems with people and organizing teams. I prefer working with data and finding patterns. I like creating processes or workflows. I want a job that pays well, even if it's hard. I enjoy protecting systems or finding vulnerabilities. Let's go greedy. I want a job that pays well, even if it's hard. Okay, but make sure you always tilt towards where you can easily transition into. And next question is, how comfortable are you with tools like Excel, Google Sheets, or numbers in general? You can say very comfortable. I use formulas, pivots, and charts. Somewhat comfortable. I prefer dashboard and tools. I use it only when necessary. I want to avoid numbers if I can. There are people that also want to avoid numbers if they can. For me, I'm very comfortable using all those. Okay, what's your take on coding? I love coding or want to go deep into it. I'm curious but not sure if I will enjoy it. I prefer logic puzzles over syntax. I'm okay with light scripting or no code tools. I'd rather manage tech teams, not code. You also answer it for me. I'm okay with light scripting and no code tools. What kind of work environment do I prefer? Strategy and decision-making roles, independent technical data focused role, helping others, security conscious, I don't know yet. Because I used to work as a compliance person, I'm security conscious. So let me take that security conscious. And then now asking me what's most important to me right now. Job security, landing a high job, I want to lead teams, remote work flexibility, or I'm still figuring it out. To me, I mean, job security is what I'm actually looking for. And then I simply click on next. So once I do it, next is what kind of impact do you want to make? Leading organization, driving data insights, enhancing employee experience, protecting information, and also optimizing financial performance. Because I'm in compliance, I'm a protector of information. So once I've done that, it's not asking me which of these courses stands okay for me, but I don't even know. So I'm going to so many options, I am confused because I don't even know what all of them means. Once I click on it and click on tap here, it's now going to bring out what my skills are linked towards. So easily can see that my transferable skill is linked towards cybersecurity. I'm the guardian. You are protective, alert, and don't let things slide. You are the guardian, vigilant, skeptical, and so on and so forth. Remember, all these things are based on my initial experience. That is why I was able to answer this. So you also need to be able to answer these questions and be able to find out which career path you are more tilted towards, because that's the easiest way for you to break into the tech industry. I know someone asked me a question on what transferable skills do I need to transition to cybersecurity? Right. So once you're able to go through this quiz, no, sir, easily, if you are tilting towards cybersecurity, it's going to tell you. So it's easier for us to analyze your reports than telling you, okay, you need to have this, you need to have that, because at that point, it may not be honest for you to get the actual true picture. Because the easiest way to transition, like I said earlier, is through cybersecurity. So how many of us have been able to complete the quiz? What's the career path that we are all tilting towards? Just drop it in the comment section before we move ahead. Drop it in the comment section the next couple of minutes so that I will see the different career paths that we are all tilting towards. All right, let's keep it coming. If you are just joining, click on the link in the comment section and it's going to take you to that plan. It gave me a whole list of career paths. So SAN, if you get to the end, it's going to give you one definite career path. So that means you've not gotten to the end. All right. Look through what you have. Maybe you're at the point where it's telling you to tap here to see your results. So you need to tap on it for you to see where you need to be. All right. Okay, I can see Chioma got data engineering. You must really love coding, Chioma. Then Carlos, business analyst. You must like interacting with people. Udo, aka said the analyst, fantastic data analyst. Eka Utuk, business analyst, but this is not what I'm interested in. Fantastic Eka Utuk. Now, on that same page that you did that as well, there's a place for you to easily be able to say, okay, I don't like this, or this is not what I want, like Eka said. There's a place for you to book a free call for you to speak to one of us. All right. The person is going to look at your background and now be able to find out whether you have what it takes to be in that place. So simply click on this book a free call and someone from our team is going to have conversation with you. All right. Simply click on it and someone is going to have a conversation with you to find out the one that is also suitable for you as well. So if you are looking to learn, this is the easiest way for you to go. All right. Many a times we make mistakes from, oh, data engineering, cybersecurity is where the money is, and that's where my friend jumped into. Let me jump into that place as well. It is not the right move. The right move is always moving with the place that you have transferable skills. Once you're able to make that switch through that direction, you are fully assured that when you speak, you can comfortably look back to your initial years of experience and say, oh, I used to be a data analyst. I used to be this, even though you've not been that before. But because there is now transferable skills from that initial career path to what you are doing presently now, you can easily get to that place. Sam, you can see clearly you are meant to be a HR analyst. I know that's why I told you earlier as well. Okay, so moving on, please, on your own, everyone, let's make sure that we complete this quiz because it is the easiest way for you to find the career path that is meant for you. Now that you found how to the career path that is meant for you, next thing is for you to learn. So how exactly would you be learning? So here at Analytics, we'll have two basic models that people learn with. Number one is you are learning as a self-paced option, and you also have the live interactive class. So the same way I'm speaking to you right now, that is how someone is going to be in the class teaching you what you need to do. Okay, that is how someone is going to be in the class teaching you what you need to do. Okay, someone said I can't find the link. All right, quickly, I just dropped the link again for you right now, Toby. Right? So someone will be in the class teaching you what you need to do. You have live class and you have self-paced. Both of them is very important, right? It is very, very crucial because live classes, you get to be with the person, ask questions, and the person's hand holding you on what you need to know. Then self-paced, you're going through small bite videos and then also ask questions after. Like I said earlier, all these career paths are actually going to give you the income that you are looking for. Trust me, it's going to give you the income. For instance, using the UK as an example, I know the new immigration law says that for you to get sponsorship, that's your COS, the job needs to at least pay you £41,000. Now, if you look at all these career paths here, they all have above that 41,000 minimum, which means that anyone that you decide to go through is definitely going to provide you that sponsorship that you're looking for. But make sure that you're not transitioning based on the amount. Because there's one question I always ask people. For instance, we are all seeing what a data analyst is going to earn, and we're seeing what a cybersecurity is going to earn. But just this one question for everyone. Let's assume you're a data analyst working in Seplat, let's say oil and gas sector. You're a data analyst working there. All right. And then there's another person, a cybersecurity professional, working for a government parastatal. Who do you think is going to earn more? All right. The data analyst in the oil and gas or the cybersecurity person working in the government office? Whom do you think is going to earn more? Let me see how we are all going to react. Who do we think is going to earn more? Data analyst in oil and gas or cybersecurity person in government? Who do we think is going to earn more? Ifeoma said oil and gas. Fantastic. Caroline said oil and gas. Fantastic. All right. But clearly, if you look at what you have on my screen right now, the average for someone in cybersecurity is way higher than the one in data analyst. So it's not just about the career path that you're getting into. It's also about the sector of the economy that you now land in the end. Okay? Because the truth about tech is that of all these career paths here, you can work in all the different sectors of the economy out there. Every single one of them, you can work in all of them. As a business analyst, you can work in oil and gas, you can work in edtech, you can work in fintech, you can work in government, you can work in finance, you can work in banking. Every single career path in tech can work in all sectors. That's why tech is not really a sector on its own. I know people always mention, oh, technology sector, but tech is embedded inside all the sectors that exist. And that's what makes it the center of most sectors now. That is what makes it the center of most. So make sure that you're not looking at the amount that is embedded in all these career paths. Make sure you're looking at the one that you have transferable skill towards, because in the end, it boils down to the sector of the economy that you end up in. Now we'll talk about packaging. Packaging is very, very crucial. Okay. But before you start packaging, remember that it is competence over credentials. All right. I know someone just asked me, are the certificates internally recognized? This is a very perfect question for where I'm going to right now. It is always competence over credentials. At the end of our training, we are fully accredited by the American Council for Training and Development. You're going to get a certificate that is fully accredited by the ACTD. But let's go through this tweet that the richest man in the world made. He said, if you're a hardcore software engineer and want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. What does this tell all of us here? All right, what it says is just show us your code. What does this say to everyone on this call? It is simple. The era of certification is over. Nobody cares. Trust me, nobody cares about your certificates. The number of people I know in the tech industry, many of us do not have a computer science background. I keep telling people this. Many of us do not have computer science background, all right? But we are all moving mountains in the tech ecosystem now. So you don't have to say, oh, I need to get this, I need to get that, I need this certificate, I need to do this. All you need is to beef up your skill and have experience to back it up. Once you're able to show your skill and experience, you're already hot cake. All right, so let me show us an example. Hope is someone that she's already a certified Scrum Master before she came to us, but she didn't know how to use some of those tools. She just finished school. She got into PMP. She got certified. PSM got certified. But if you give her, okay, Hope, take Jira, be able to run this project with this team. She didn't know how to go about it. Okay, so she joined our own Agile Project Management class in September 2024. And immediately she finished in December 2024, she was able to land a job as a project analyst. Now, remember, it is now the skill that she had that was able to bring her up to where she needs to be. Certificate is just a validation of a knowledge that you already need to have. So if you have a certificate and the knowledge is not there, it is validating nothing. All right, certificate can bring you to the door sometimes, but then what is going to keep you there is actually the skills that you already have. So at all times, the skill and the experience will always surmount over certification. Okay, so please let's make sure that when it comes to packaging, that we get this the skill that we need. Now, one of the easiest ways to show proof, like Shegun mentioned, is to have a portfolio. In the tech industry, portfolio is just like your signboard showing, I've done this, I've done that. Take me up on this contract. Okay, so quickly, let's look at a portfolio of a past student. All right, quickly, let's look at the portfolio of Victoria Uchemado. So if you click on that portfolio, it's going to show you a couple of things that this individual has been able to work on. So clearly you can see that she is a data analyst portfolio. All right, she's showing you, oh, I've worked in Deep Care Hospital ER visit analysis. I've worked in Redox Airline flight analysis. I've worked in Express Tech Food Delivery. I've worked in Nestle. I've worked in Zenith. If now start looking at it by sector of the economy, Zenith is in the tech ecosystem. Nestle is FMCG. Express Tech Food Delivery is in supply chain. Redox is in aviation. While Deep Care is in the health space. Now, when she comes out, she's comfortably going to say, oh, when I was consulting with analytics, I worked on different sectors of the economy, including the health space, aviation space, supply chain, technology space, as well as the tech industry. Do you think that when she speaks like this, you that is saying, oh, I have a master's degree from the University of Hull, do you think they're going to give you the job and leave someone that is showing evidence of what she's been able to do? Who do you think is going to land the job? While we are thinking about that, she's not going to say, okay, quickly, let me just show you a couple of things I've also been able to do. And she's going to bring up her portfolio, click on it, and she's walking you through what she's been able to do. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on this hospital ER visit analysis, and I was able to build the dashboard and notice that we had close to 10,000 ER visits every year. And my pain point was on the average waiting time. How do I reduce it from 35 minutes to something that is way below? I did this, I did that, and in the next quarter, we're able to reduce it to 30 minutes. And because of that, it improved our turnover. And because our turnover was improved, it resulted in improved revenue. Who do you think they're going to give job? You that is coming, oh, I have a master's degree from University of Liverpool. Or Victoria that is saying, I've consulted with analytics, I worked on this project, I worked on this, I worked on that, I worked on this. Let's be honest to ourselves. Whom do you think, if you are the recruiter, are you going to hire yourself over someone that has this portfolio to show proof of work that they've been able to do in the past? All right, so all these things are what you have to ask yourself. So number one thing that you need to know is while packaging yourself, portfolio is number one thing. All right, portfolio is the number one thing. Once you've been able to build your portfolio, next is now around CV optimization. So from our own side, 2 months after you join the classes, we are going to work on your CV and also teach you how to tailor your CV down, because we don't expect you to use one CV to apply to multiple roles. Okay, so we've taught you, we've worked on your CV, we expect you that any job that you're going for, you are now going to personally work on those CVs. Then we also teach you how do you build up your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn optimization, 90 days challenge to showcase things that you're doing. We were trying to hire a data analyst for Ivory Coast around February. And what we simply did was we went to LinkedIn and searched for data analyst in Ivory Coast. And we got someone. We simply had a conversation on LinkedIn, set up a meeting, and we simply hired the individual. So LinkedIn is the easiest, fastest, and cheapest means of hiring. So if you are not active there yet, if you feel like, oh, LinkedIn is cringe, that's the language I always hear. Oh, LinkedIn is too cringe for me. That's language. Then that means you are not yet ready. How can we say this is cringe when we are looking to actually be visible and land roles? So we're also going to teach you how do you optimize your LinkedIn so that recruiters are going to reach out to you and how to navigate the job market out there. Then very important, the interview prep sessions. So we always have sessions on interviews around how do you speak on interviews. For instance, you have the SIT framework and the STAR approach. Okay, so when I was talking about the portfolio, I spoke about, oh, while I was consulting with analysts, I worked on this project. That is situation-based, showing that the situation is while you were consulting with analytics. So situation, task, action, and result. When you use this framework to answer questions, you are going to cover everything that they want to hear. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on the hospital ER visit analysis. We've talked about the situation and the task, which is hospital ER visit analysis. I was able to use Tableau or Power BI to analyze these different data. And this is now the actions that you were able to take. And then in the end, I was able to improve the turnover of our patients and reduce the average waiting time, which improved our revenue. So when you speak like that, they've heard the situation, they've heard the task that you carried out, the action, and also the results. So what it does is that it boxes your recruiters to ask you questions within these things that you've mentioned. All right, it's not more going to give them the upper hand of, okay, tell me about this different thing, tell me about this. Because a proper recruiter will listen to what you are saying and ask you questions based on all those information that you're giving them. So we also provide you with interview prep session and then job references. Very, very crucial. Okay, you said you've consulted with analysis. Can they provide reference letter for you? We are fully available to provide all those things, as well as on-the-job support and weekly mentorship sessions. Then Upwork optimization. You want to learn how to also freelance. We are also going to walk you through all these things. So when I say packaging is very, very important, packaging is as important as the learning itself. Because after you've learned, you need to package yourself for you to show that this is something that you can actually be able to do before you now move to applying to jobs. So our own program, our consulting, everything you're doing with us, it's for 8 months. Okay, for the first 6 months, you are going to be learning with Analytics. And for the other 2 months, you are going to be interning with Amdari. And Analytics is Canadian-based, while Amdari is UK-based. This means is that you have the unique opportunity of having 2 tech companies on your CV. Okay? Okay, will you teach what to say depending on the job like you are doing now? So, yes, Daniel. So I will show us how to do all these things because once you get an interview invite, we expect you to book an interview preparatory session with us. And right there, I'm going to attach the link to the job and we're going to look at it and prepare you based on that job description. So if I'm preparing Daniel, I'm preparing Harry, and they're all 2 different jobs, the approach is going to be different. All right, so we have a segment where you can book all those interview preparatory classes. All right, so moving on, like I was saying, you are going to be learning with Analytics and then you intern with Amdari. So by the time that you are done, you can comfortably say, oh, while I was consulting with Analytics, I did this. Oh, while I was interning with Amdari, I did that. And what this means is that you have that opportunity of having 2 tech companies in your CV. And these are what recruiters are consistently looking out for. Okay, so please, it's important for you to understand these things. Then number 3 is the application, like I said. One major mistake that people make is that they reuse their CV over and over again. All right, so it is not good. Even if it's the same job, data analyst, you are applying to Seplat, data analyst, you are applying to Oando, data analyst, you are applying to this, there is difference in the job description. So it's important for you to always tailor every application to the job description that you are going for. Never reuse a CV. This is one major mistake that we all make. We all use one CV. Oh, easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. you are just easily removing yourself from the sequence of people that they will call back. Okay, so make sure you tailor your CV and then apply to at least 10 quality jobs. So what we do from our own side is this, because we have job boards that we constantly scrape with visa sponsored roles. When we scrape all these jobs, we provide it to our consultants, our students to also apply to those jobs. Okay, so we scrape the job, we provide you with a link, and we expect you to apply. Now, the responsibility of applying to the job rests solely on you. And this is where most people fall out because our success rate as at now is at 89%, which means 89 people out of 100 that come to us get to move on to good things, greater things. Now, the 11% that is falling out, they always fall out at this application level because we are not going to apply to jobs for you. We are going to teach you, we are going to package you, we are going to provide you for those jobs. But the responsibility of applying to a job rests solely on you. And this is where most people actually fall off because applying to a job, guys, is a job on its own. Right? Applying to a job is a job on its own. Like I said earlier, the strategy is simple. Learn the in-demand career paths, package yourself, and then apply. Once you're able to do all these three steps, trust me, you are going to land a job. This is the same thing that we've done for most people. For ICMAT, for Ramat that moved from being a customer service person to being a business analyst, for doing the same thing, a lot of people. We have a lot of success stories here, which is why I said it's important for we all to fill the attendance form that my colleague Oblong is dropping. So that by the end of this session, I'm going to share this slide with everyone that filled that form, and then also the recorded version, so that on your own, you can easily click to hear what they had to say. And also reach out to them maybe on LinkedIn and ask them, oh, Judith, I saw you on the list. I want to personally ask you, how was your own experience? So that they can actually tell you from their own mouth, okay? You can reach out to Olu Adamilare. He moved from being, from having no experience in tech to landing a role as a sustainability data analyst with BMA in the United Kingdom. So all these things are possible. All these are success stories of people that have been able to make this same switch. So on this slide, we have a lot of them, which we are not going to, instantly be looking at every single one success story. But once you're able to fill that form, you are clearly going to have access to go through every single one of them and look for the one that is speaking directly to you. So, but what skills must I have to land these jobs? Okay. So right now, I'm going to explain all those career paths so that we can actually be able to say, okay, this is one I'm more tilted to. This is one I'm not more tilted, so that I can make a proper decision. All right. But are we still here before I jump right into explaining all those 8 career paths and round up for today? Are we still here? Are there people that are still under the influence of my voice till this very moment? Okay, thank you, Ifoma. It's only Ifoma that I have here. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Caleb. Abdul Karid. I hope I didn't kill your name. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I can see a couple of yes, yes, yes. Fantastic. That means we still have people that are actively listening. Now, what skill must I have to land these jobs in 2025? I love explaining this because this is where everyone needs to bring out their biro and pen and start writing down right now. Number one is business analysis. These are guys that if you are not someone that you like interacting with people, business analysts are constantly speaking to every single person that exists in the business. So you nearly killed my, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. So business analysts are constantly speaking to every single person in the business. So communication is top notch. Interaction is top notch. You have to be someone that is ready to be in meetings as well. So if you're not ready for all these things I've mentioned, move away. So these guys are responsible for making sure that processes are optimized. Okay, they make sure that if they met this process at level 1, it's going to move to level 2 and make it seamless. Okay, they also make sure that information flows seamlessly between the non-technical team and the technical team, which is between possibly the CEOs, CFOs, CSOs, all the Cs that exist, and these developers, QA, quality assurance, data analyst, cybersecurity. Make sure that information flows seamlessly between them and these guys. So one of the key things that they need to learn is to actually understand data. So that's why you're seeing that they are also learning Excel, Power BI, and SQL. They will understand this and then move to learn process mapping, project initiation, and then Agile and Scrum for projects. And this is a borrowed course from project management. And then lastly, they'll move on to learn their proper business analysis. All right. So what it simply means is that after 2 months of joining business analysis program, we expect you to start applying to jobs that exist in data analytics. Okay. After the 3rd month, we expect to start applying to jobs that exist in project management. And in the end of that 6 months, we expect you to instantly apply to business analysis roles. So BA is one of the courses that gives you opportunity to have different places to branch into. But remember, if you are not ready to communicate, if you're not this kind of person that you are, if you are introverted and you love to be on your own, this is not the area for you, because as a business analyst, you are going to be speaking the way I'm speaking right now. You're going to be talking to stakeholders. You're going to be speaking to every single person that exists in that company. Elizabeth, questions constantly drop, so I might miss out on anyone. But at the end, I'm definitely going to take everyone's question. I'm scrolling right now to look for the question, and it's simply stop. Okay, the quiz said business analyst, but the last time I spoke with one of your staff and she said project management, I'm kind of confused. Kindly help. Fantastic, Elizabeth. Now, I'm going to explain clearly. Now that I'm explaining business analysis now, Elizabeth, you can see that business analysis has an aspect of project management embedded inside it. All right. And this might be the reason why our own help said project management. And when you now look at agile project management clearly, it is now, if you are looking to be in this career path and you don't want to do anything coding, you are running from data, you're running from calculation, you're running from all those things, then agile project management is for you. All right, so agile project management, there is no technicalities. We call it the no code area in tech. No code area in tech. Your responsibility is that you're going to be like a leader, like a coach, someone that is making sure that every other person in that team is working using agile method. All right, you're like the director of the project of the engineering team, making sure that everyone, okay, Chukwemeka, what do you say you were going to do yesterday? You're going to now look at what they did, and then, okay, you were not able to do this, you were not able to do that. You now have a recourse to the team lead, and then make sure that that blocker is being removed. So business analysts make sure that processes are optimized by interacting with every single player in that process, while agile project managers lead project management team to make sure that everyone is working using agile methodologies. So Elizabeth, I hope you're able to see the differences. But a business analyst can actually work as an agile project manager, because remember, they're also going to learn agile and Scrum for projects, but it's not going to be as in-depth as these guys. So it means that you still have a little bit of self-development to make for it to be able to now fully function in that space. I hope that answers your question, Elizabeth. So that might be the reason why, I don't know what you spoke to our own person with or on, but if you mention that, oh, I don't want to do anything technical, then that means that they're not going to take it to business analysis, because as a business analyst, you are still going to interact with data, which is here. But if you're looking to go away from entirety of anything technical, data, calculation, then agile project management might be the likely destination for you. And that's why I'm sure they recommended it for you. I hope I've been able to use Elizabeth's question to answer business analysis and agile project management. So if you're on this call and you're looking to go into the tech career path and you don't want to do anything technical, anything coding, anything mathematics at all, then agile project management is the right place for you. All right. But if you're looking to be someone that will interact with every single person, different stakeholders, then business analysis would be the best place for you. Then moving on, I know someone actually got data engineering as their own career path. Now, data engineers are responsible for building pipelines and architecture that makes sure that data flows within the ecosystem. They are very heavy on coding. So they are very heavy on coding. And part of the things that you're going to be learning starts with introduction to data engineering. That's understanding data lifecycle management, data architecture, and so on and so forth. They move on to SQL, Python, and then how do you build ETL pipelines? So if you're moving to data engineering, you need to make open your mind that you are going to be heavily coding. And what they do is not visually appealing. I mean, if you come to where a data engineer is working, it's going to be like the person is just writing in jargons, but they are building pipelines that make sure that data flows. So it's just like if you go to a construction company, you are going to see plumbers building pipes, making sure that water flows from the tank down to the tap, from the tank down to the water system, to the different sections in the house, that once you open it, water flows. That is how data engineers are building pipelines, so that once you open it, data flows as well. They are very, very heavy on coding, all right? They are very, very heavy on coding. Now, we talk about data science. I like to call these guys the future tellers. So they're going to tell you the future of what's going to happen. Now, they answer three basic questions. Number one is they answer descriptive analytics, they answer diagnostic analytics, and then they answer predictive analytics. So descriptive is what happened, diagnostic is why did it happen, and then predictive is what is going to happen in future. So they answer these three different questions. And by virtue of the first four tools that they are learning, all data scientists can work as data analysts. So all data scientists can work as data because data analysts answer just two questions, descriptive and diagnostic. They don't get towards the predictive aspect. And that is what data scientists explain from number 5 downward. So they now start getting into coding, Python programming, machine learning, computer vision, GitHub, and so on and so forth. That's the way they now learn, how do I build predictive models that is going to tell the future. So if you are someone that is data related and you do not want to go heavy into coding, then you should be in data analytics, because you're going to answer that question of what will happen and why did it happen. Okay, so data analysts answer what happened and why did it happen. But data scientist goes a step further to answer this is what is going to happen in future. And then I'm going to build predictive models to make those things to come to light. I hope we are all following to this very moment. So predictive is what differentiates data scientists from data analysts. And if you don't want to get into coding, it simply means that you have to stay at data analyst and not towards data science. Because when you get to that point and you get to coding, you might start dropping off and you are going to lose out on the impact. Now, people always ask, okay, does it mean that data science is the bigger brother of data analytics? Trust me, all of them are career paths on their own. There are people that they just data analysts through and through, and there are people that have moved towards data science. In the proper business setting, companies want these two guys. They want a data analyst and they want a scientist. All right? But remember, data scientists can work as a data analyst. So if you are open to coding, then you should actually challenge yourself with data science rather. And if you are someone that have actually worked with Excel before, Power BI before, it doesn't make sense for you to now say, okay, I still want to be in data analytics. That means you need to now challenge yourself more and push towards data science. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Now, moving forward, we have financial analysts and HR analysts. Okay, financial analysts and HR analysts are people that are data related, but they've specialized in a particular segment of data. For instance, you can see clearly that from number 1 to 4, they are learning the same thing that a data analyst will also be learning. So from number 1 to 4, they are learning everything that a data analyst will learn as well. Then why a data analyst is now going towards Tableau, a financial analyst is now going towards accounting fundamentals, understanding the 3 stages of accounting model, your income statement, your balance sheet, your cash flow. All right. Then you move to financial analysis. How do you analyze financial data? And then how do you build financial model? So if you're someone that have economics background, you have banking and finance, you've worked in financial institutions, you have financial experience, financial analytics is the easiest place for you to transition through. Okay. And then if you're someone that you have people-related experience, like I think is Dan San or someone like that has people related experience on this call. So once you've gotten that data skill, next thing is now how do you perform HR KPIs and performance evaluation? Okay, that's Sam, yeah. And perform performance evaluation. How do you track attrition metrics? How do you know, okay, instead of me doing exit interviews, I need to identify at the point where people want to exit. I will not be carrying out stay interviews for my guys. So by the time you're able to do all these things, you're going to reduce your attrition rates. And you can trust me as a HR, if your attrition rate is very low, you are one of the best HR out there. So, and that goes down to understanding your people data. You've seen that, okay, once someone gets married, they actually resign from our job. Mr. A has done it, Mr. B did it, Mr. C did it. It means that there is something that is happening. So you need to now start asking questions on why can't married people work here, and start to block out all those issues. So that if peradventure me, Mr. C, I want to get married next year, it means that this year you should be having conversations with me. Oh, Mr. C, what do we need to do for you to make sure that you are here in the next couple of years? So you need to understand all those metrics and also your compensation and pay equity analysis. Compensation is very, very crucial as HR. You need to also be able to know how to carry out all those analysis and also how to collaborate and recruitment tracking automation. As HR, you're constantly employing, recruiting, and all. How do you track how all those things are moving? Then you also learn how to utilize HRMS system, which is Orange HRMS, right? You learn how to utilize HRMS to perform your own activities. And for everything I've talked about, for all the career paths I've spoken about before now, you're also going to be learning how to utilize ChatGPT for analytics. So this is very, very crucial because that is the embedded aspect of AI that everyone needs to also be aware of. Okay, now cybersecurity. I hope we are all still here. Have we run away? I think cybersecurity is the last one. Are we all still here? Are we all here? Are we all here? Or have we gone out to celebrate with Arsenal fans that just did wonders this evening? All right, so for cybersecurity, guys, these are people, their responsibility is to protect the digital assets of the company. Now, for every single other role that I've talked about, cybersecurity is there to make sure that your data is not leaking. Okay, your data is not leaking. So they start off with the overview and the roles and technologies that exist there. Okay, once you understand that, you move on to your information security principle. That's where you now get to understand your CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. Okay, then you move on. Everything you learn from number 3 downwards to number 4 prepares you to work as a network engineer and also a SOC analyst. So here you're learning how to function defense-based. You know, in cybersecurity, we'll have the attack-minded guys, we'll have the defense-minded guys, and we'll have people that know every one of them. That's the red team, blue team, and the purple team. All right, so when you're learning your SOC codes and responsibilities, you learn how to do your log analysis and network traffic monitoring. That's NTM. Okay, then you learn your threat detection response and also your incident response and threat intelligence. Okay, so after that, you now move to your red team aspect where you're now learning how to function as a pen tester, learning both your OSINT gathering, your OSWAP and P-test, and of course, your exploitation techniques. Now, every single thing that we're talking about here, you are learning a tool that you're going to utilize for them. So for all our program, you are not coming to class to learn basic. You are not coming to class to learn theory. You are learning using the theory, using the tools rather that the people that are working are also using. Okay, and then lastly, you're going to also learn the GRC aspect, which is now governance, risk, and compliance, talking about your frameworks, ISO 27001, which is your information security standard, and also your compliance audit and also security awareness training and reporting. So every single program that we offer is from beginner phase to intermediate and expert rates. So even if you have zero experience in those career paths, we are going to walk you through from the ground level and build you up to understand. Because in some of those classes, you are going to have people that do not even know anything. So we always teach everyone like they do not know anything. Okay, so even if you have an already existing experience, you need to know that there are people without that experience. So we're going to bring everybody up to the level that you're at, and then everybody continues from there. So for this cybersecurity class, you are not learning anything coding related yet. All right. So for everything you're doing in this cybersecurity, you're not learning coding. You are going to be learning how to utilize all these tools to perform all those activities. But for instance, if you're learning how to use Nmap, I don't want to call it coding, but you're going to be doing scripting. So you're going to be learning how to write scripts because you need to be able to query some of those databases, all right? But it's not coding in its natural form. And after, because cybersecurity has so many domains, in your own internship, you now choose a particular career path that you want to specialize in. Remember, you've learned network engineering, SOC analysis, pen testing, GRC, but in your internship, you now decide, oh, I want to specialize in this, and that is where your internship is now fully focused. So for all this program I talked about, remember, it is all 6 months learning experience. So you're going to be in the classroom with the analytics, learning all those technical things that I've talked about. Then the next 2 months, you're going to have an internship experience with Amdari, a different company. And then the class holds only on Saturdays. All right, we'll have the morning class and then we'll have the evening class. Morning class is by 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. All right, so it is suitable for people in Europe and also Africa. All right, while the evening class is by 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time, suitable for people in North America, Canada, US, Australia, and so on and so forth. Okay, that should be around 10 a.m. Mountain time. All right, so every Saturday you have these classes. All right, you can only be in one of them. You won't be in the morning and also in the evening. So you can only be in one, either you're in the morning class or you're in the evening class. So even if you're in Canada, but to you, morning class is suitable for you, which should be around your 4 a.m., 5 a.m., then as you can join that class and not be in the evening class. So anyone that works for you, you can be in that. But remember, it is only one class that you can be in. So every Saturday, you have a live class, and then some Saturdays, you're expected to use it to have a refresher class, which we call drop-in sessions, and also you have a self-paced video that you're expected to watch. Okay, now on the mentorship and interview preps, it happens most times on Thursdays by 10 p.m. West African time, and also on Thursdays by 8 p.m. MST, which should be around 3 a.m. Nigerian time. So there are two different sessions that always happen. It can be in any of them, but all these sessions are always recorded. Okay, so even if you miss anyone, the recorded version of those sessions are provided for you, both for your classes as well. If you miss a class, the recorded version of that class is also provided for you. So that, I mean, as adults, sometimes things are going to take you out of your class or family, life, work, and so on and so forth. So when you miss it, we expect you to go back, watch the recorded version. If you have a question, you can come back to us. Oh, hi, Chukwemeka. I was trying to perform my sum if and it's not working. What do I need to do? And so on and so forth. And Chukwemeka will be there to solve your problem. But if you come to Chukwemeka and say, oh, Chukwemeka, I missed your class. Come and teach me everything that you taught them. That might be a little bit a stretch for us. So that's why all those classes are always recorded. And it's a lifetime access. Once you join the program, you have a lifetime access to all those classes. All right. So remember, I said first thing that you need to do is to choose a career path that you have transferable skill into. So if you've not done that yet, this is a call for you to go back and take that test so that you'll be able to know the career path that is tilted for you. So how can you start today? All right. How can you start today? Our next cohort is starting on September 6th. All right. So we always start a new cohort on the first Saturday of every month. Okay, and for you to get into that cohort, you have to key into the registration as fast as possible. So for all the courses that we offer here, the full amount is $1,000, right? But there is currently a 25% off, which means you get to pay $750 for you to get into the class. And you have the option to pay it instrumentally, $150 per month for 5 months till you finish up. All right, $150 per month for 5 months. You don't have to pay everything at once. And like I said earlier, this discount is not for everyone. You can see there's a clause here, which is the discount is for the first 20. And actually, after August 22nd, the 25% discount will be entirely off, because at that level, we've gotten the people that registered as early birds, okay? But because this session have already been fixed, we have to stretch it to August 22nd, which means after today and tomorrow, by Monday, the discount is going to be fully just 20%, which means it's no more going to be 750. It's now going to be 800, and people are now expected to pay 160, 160, 160, 160, 160 for 5 months. So how can you actually secure your spot? It is actually very, very simple. All you have to do is simply click on the link that my colleagues are dropping there. Once you click on it, it's going to bring you to our own registration point, which I'm going to show us how to go about it. So once you click on it, it's going to bring you to this registration point like this, all right? It's going to bring you here. So all you have to do is to look for the one that you want to go for. For instance, I want to go for data analytics. I'll simply click on buy now. Once I click on it, it's going to bring me into this page where I can see what data analytics is all about. And you can see that the 25% discount is currently ongoing, okay? But remember, by tomorrow, it's going to be entirely over. So I would advise you to secure that spot immediately, because after this, the discount is entirely over, and it will now be a 20% discount. So once you click on enroll now, it's going to now bring you to this page. So you can see that you're going for the data analytics program. You can have the option to choose, oh, do you want to start September 6th? Or do you want to start in October 4th? Okay, so we'll have that flexibility for people that need extra months to prepare, all right? So once you've seen it, you now have to decide, oh, do you want to make full payments? Do you want to pay it in installments? Do you want to pay in 3 installments? Do you want to pay in 4 installments? Or do you want to pay in 5 installments? I mean, as someone that is a family guy, I prefer to pay in 5 installments. So I'll just click on the 5 payments. Elizabeth, I'm going to answer everyone's question. Just give me a couple of minutes to round up this demo, and then I'm going to take all the questions, all right? So I'm going to go for the 5 installments. What I have to now do is I'll click on Pay Now. So once I click on Pay Now, it's going to bring me to this page, okay? It's saying that it's now telling me, okay, this is that. Okay, 1 second, guys, 1 second. I think I didn't log out from my initial demo, so that I'll be able to explain this extensively for everyone, so that we can easily be able to understand what I am talking about. All right, so once I am here, I've clicked on it, I've selected the course I want to go for, and I am right here now. Okay, I've gone for data analytics again. I click on buy now. Once I click on that buy now, click on enroll now. After clicking on enroll now, I've selected to pay in 5 months installments. I've selected to pay now. And then it is asking me this. Okay, I need to log out. Just 1 second. Let me stop share and be sure that I am demonstrating with the right account. Okay, just 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. My screen is going to come up in the next 1 minute so that everyone is going to see it. So after my demo, I'm going to take out time and answer everyone's question, guys. I'm going to answer every single one. If you want to unmute and speak, I'll ask you to unmute and speak to me, right? Just allow me to finish this demo so that everybody will understand how they can actually go about with registration. Okay, so right here, I'm here right now. Fantastic. Right here, I'm here. Click on the link, scroll down and select the courses I want to go for. Okay, fantastic. I think I'm here right now. I am here. So once I've clicked on it and I've gotten the courses I want to go for, it is now for me to now enroll and pay. So quickly let me bring up my screen again so that we can actually see what I'm talking about right now. All right, my screen should be up in the next few seconds. All right, it should be up. Okay, so once you are here, all you have to now do is simply scroll down, select the one that you want to go for, pay for the product, and it is now asking you, showing you that, okay, this is how it's been structured. First payment is August 22nd, second payment September 22nd, October 22nd is the third payment, November 22nd, December 22nd. So every 30-day cycle, it is expected for that to happen. You now simply click on, I confirm that my information is correct. I've read the terms and conditions. You need to actually read those terms and conditions and simply click on pay now. So once you click on it, you are now expected to instantly put in your payment details, pay for it, and then it's going to go. So let me quickly pay for this. And this is a demo link, so I can easily pay using this. And then continue paying. And then, all right, cardholder name is just Green. And I'm paying right now. So all I have to do now is simply click on pay. And once I do that, it's going to process my payment. And you can see it's going to tell me your payment is completed. And once that is completed, payment successful, is going to take me to the dashboard. All right, so in the dashboard, you are now expected to also do a couple of things right there. So you can see right here, I'm now in the dashboard. They're going to also be asked, okay, where did you join from? Some of the questions that you're expected to fill. You're going to also get a code in your email for you to verify your email address. So once you're able to do that, you are right here in the dashboard. And this is your learning management system. I know a couple of people ask, okay, how do I schedule interview? You can see, you can schedule for your appointment to be prepared for interview all here. You can request for a reference letter all here, and you can also see every single thing that you are learning in this learning dashboard. If you want to utilize AI, we also have our own inbuilt AI, which we call Oluko, that helps you to also learn. So Oluko is teacher in Yoruba language. And once you click on it, it can easily assist you with your coding error, with your interview issues, and so on and so forth. So all these things are what we built into the LMS to make it easier for everyone. But remember, the discounted spot is not for everyone. All right. So I don't know if at this point there are people that have questions. Please feel free to use the raise hand icon, and I'm going to call you up to speak, or drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to pick it up from there and then answer your questions. So let me go through it and be able to answer anyone's question. But right there, remember that the discounted spots are being taken, and we expect everyone that's been in this session to also key into it and be able to secure their spot, because by tomorrow, the discount is going to move from being 25% to now 20% discount for every other person that have not been able to key into the early registration. Okay, how do we pay using pound? Fantastic, Opeyemi. So Opeyemi, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. The site is geotagged, so no matter where you are joining from, it's going to charge you in the currency of your location. Right? So if you're in US, you're going to see it in USD. Right? If you are in UK, you're going to see it in pounds. All right? If you are in what's it called, African country, you're going to see it in your own local currency. All right? So this is to make it easier for everyone to pay using their own local currency of where they are based. And if you have any challenge with making that payment, please feel free to reach out to us on any of these emails that we have right here, or our WhatsApp line that we also have right here. Okay, you can see our telephone lines are fully here. Our website is here. Our enquiries and admissions emails are also fully here. If you have any challenges with making any of those payments from your own location, please instantly shoot us an email as fast as possible, because that discount is always selling out. Okay, hope that answers your question, Opeyemi. Dennis is saying, I'm towards the end of my university. I'm pursuing a certification in CIFA currently. Do you think it is wise to pursue this simultaneously, Daniel? All right, fantastic question, Daniel. It all depends on your own bandwidth. All right, but I always advise people to run most things educational together. When I was about to get my own MBA, that was when I transitioned to data analysis actually. And it was very, very great for me, because immediately when I was done, I had to instantly utilize both my certificate to start pursuing for C-suite roles, and then with my own technical skill to also start going for jobs. All right, because what it means is that if you wait to finish your CFA before coming to do this, it means that after your CFA, you now need extra 8 months to get fully skilled for what you want to get into. But if you're able to run both of them concurrently, it means that by the early part of 2026, you're actually ready to start looking for jobs. So Daniel, if your bandwidth can carry it, I always advise people to take it simultaneously. It's going to stretch you, but at least you know that you are being stretched at that space of time. And afterwards, and I'm pushing to land something. Hope that answers your question. I'm having an MBA. Danny, I hope that answers your question greatly. Okay, Abdul Karid, okay, Fit is saying, was there a new course you are going to launch in AI, sir? Fantastic question, Fit. So Fit, yes, in the next coming months, we'll have a couple of courses that we're also going to be rolling out. Okay, and it's all tilting towards AI. We are taking our time to look at how the tech ecosystem is reacting to entire AI so that we are sure we create a program that is also going to be very, very vast and enriching. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Please, what if we that don't have a stable workload yet? Some of us are very flexible. So can we join morning class this week and join evening class next week? Abdul Kadri, that is very, very dicey. So why I said it's dicey is because, for instance, even though you're in the same data analytics, if everyone in the morning class, they are, let's say they have a certain level of experience, and the evening class guys do not have certain level of experience. If you're in the evening class and you miss a class and decide to join the morning class, it means that those guys have actually moved further than where you used to be. So that's why we don't always advise people to switch from morning to evening, evening to morning, because remember, the facilitator is moving with the pace of the people in that class. And when you start moving from morning to evening, from evening to morning, trust me, you're going to miss out on some things because the pace always differs. The pace always differs. We are trying to move with the health and pace of everyone in that class. I hope that answered your question, Abdulkadir. But what we've done is that even when you miss a class, remember the session is always recorded. And then after that, we expect you to watch that recorded version. Then within the week, we have what we call drop-in sessions, where that same thing that was treated on the weekend is now refreshed again. All right, it's going to be refreshed. And then on Saturday, before you start learning again, it's also going to be refreshed. All right, so we have various means for all these refreshers to be keyed in so that anybody that missed a class can always understand. And we have a closed community for each class, which means you are watching the recording, you have a question, can easily actually drop your question in that community, and someone right there is going to answer your question as well. Okay, so before I continue with the questions in the comment section, Chiamaka's hand is up. So Chiamaka, I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead and ask your question, Chiamaka.
Hi, Chukwemeka. Thank you for this session. I was actually part of a previous cohort. I think that was in 2023. That was the person that did our HR analytics was a Yoruba guy. I can't remember his name. And I do not have access to the material anymore. So I'm happy to do some kind of refresher. I'm currently in HR. I'm a recruiter. But I've always been interested in analytics because my background it's math and statistics. So I like, to be able to do. So I mean, analytics is something I'm definitely interested in. So I don't even mind doing a refresher, but I was wondering if you would consider giving me a further discount, considering the fact that it's the same company, it's 10 Analytics. And you can check your records, you'll find my name.
All right, fantastic question, Chiamaka. So that is fully assured. So for
Okay.
all returning students, there's a discount for you. All right,
Okay.
there is a discount. So what I'll advise you to do right now is just reach out to admissions@penalties.io, and they're going to walk through that process. All right.
Okay.
So for all
Sounds
returning
good.
students, there's a discount
Okay.
for you.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
also mention to him or to the admissions that you would love to have access to your own account. So possibly maybe there's an email disparity to the one you registered with, and also you can easily be able to sort that out for you.
Okay.
But there is a discount.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I advise you to do that today, this afternoon.
So admissions
at stenanalysis.io. All right.
Okay.
I advise you to do it so that you don't fall into, because by after tomorrow, the discount, 25% discount is entirely off. And that means
just
discount
admissions at 10 Analytics.
Yeah, .io.
Okay. At 10 Analytics.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, welcome. So let me continue the ones in the comment section. Dan is asking, I'm having an MBA. The new course in AI, are they for beginners as well? And is that a course that will open sponsorship opportunities? All right, Daniel, the truth is, I can't speak based on futuristic basis, but AI is a very, very great career path to be in. But one thing I want people to understand is that most time, for instance, there's a course on AI project management. So for you to actually be able to enjoy being an AI project manager, you need to understand the basics of project management. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to mention. So people make the mistake of, oh, AI is coming, let me go and learn AI. If you learn AI without understanding the basics of where you are or that place you want to get into, you're just going to be a floating person. So those AI courses are still going to be linked to some of these courses that you already see. Oh, how do you become an AI data analyst? How do you become an AI data engineer? How do you become an AI project manager? So they all have links to it. So by virtue of that, if that course has sponsorship opportunity, of course, that AI course also has sponsorship opportunity. But most time, make sure that you have that rooted understanding before you take towards AI. AI is there to simplify the knowledge that you already know. So if you do not have that knowledge, there's nothing to simplify. You're just using AI to cruise for the meantime. I hope that answered your question, Daniel. In simple terms, please differentiate between the business analysis and data analysis. Fantastic question, Ishmael. So business analysts are people that come into business to optimize and make those processes better. All right. So they identify processes and make it better. Why data analysts look at the data that the company have to answer two questions of what happened here and why did it happen, so that they can make a better recommendation for the company. All right. For instance, let's say on this call, a data analyst will look at it and say, oh, we noticed that we have 100 people join the call, 50 from UK, 20 from Canada, 20 from US, 10 from Africa. Now, this is data. The question is now going to be, why are we having this disparity? So if you answered what happened, which is the number of people that joined, next one is, why did these guys join? So you might now see that, oh, we advertise more United Kingdom, and that's why we have 50 people from UK. And we advertise less in US, that's why we have those kind of numbers. So the recommendation is now, if we are looking to improve the number, we should also look at improving the advertise or ads that we're running in some of those locations. This is a data analyst speaking. But if a business analyst comes here as well, it's not going to be looking at that data aspect. It's not going to be looking at, oh, as a business analyst, the process for people to register for this masterclass is very long. How do you make it easier that someone can just click on a button and they're inside this masterclass? So are you seeing the difference? One person is analyzing the processes, while the other person is analyzing the data to make sense of all these things. So that is actually where it comes in. I hope that answers your question. Who asked the question? Ishmael. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Elizabeth, please scroll up to see my question. All right, I'm going to scroll up to see that. Okay, once I start a course, if this course is something I like, what to do. So Daniel, it's still the same thing, all right? Continuously, I started from cybersecurity, transition to data analytics, move to business analysis. So anything that comes up and you feel like this is something that you want to learn, it's on you to decide to register for that course and also learn it, all right? So for instance, you heard what Chamika said that she joined our program in 2023, but now she wants to take another course. So she has to register for that course as well. So it doesn't mean that, okay, because I've registered for this, if a new one comes out in the future, that you are directly into it as well. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, I'm scared as I don't know what path to take. Daniel, have you taken the quiz? If you took the quiz, you'll get a career path, okay? And if you don't know the career path to take, in the various communities that we all join through, we are going to be dropping a link there for you to book a one-on-one clarity call. You have someone like myself in those sessions to discuss with you to find a career path for you. But I always advise people, the next available session is on Monday. And by then, this 25% discount will be off. So I advise people to secure their spots now. And then by Monday, after having that conversation, even if you register for data analytics, if we find out that the one that is meant for you is business analysis, we're going to make that changes from the back end. But if you wait till that time to have the conversation before you register, then you might be paying higher than people that are registering now, okay? So before I come back to the comment section again, I have a hand raised. Hi, Ifoma, please. Oh, I think I'm, Ifoma, I've asked you to unmute, please go ahead and ask your question. Hi, Ifoma, I've asked you to unmute, please go ahead and ask your question. Hi, Ifoma, are you there?
Yeah, I think I'm on mute now. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. Okay. I was typing, but I saw that my typing would be longer, so it's better I just pick up. So thank you very much, Chukwemeka. I don't know if you prefer to be called Emeka or Chukwemeka.
There is so
All
many
right.
things that Emeka, I prefer Emeka.
All right. So I think I've really enjoyed this session because of the analysis that came with it. It made it to be more clearer, and you have perspective of where you're going to. At least that part that I said, at least tailoring it to what you already know before now. So I'm currently in the UK, but before coming down to the UK, I've been an HR person in Nigeria. So your analysis made me to understand that it's better I go for the HR analytics, because I think in HR space, I've done recruitment, payroll, I've done HR business partnering and all that. So I think it would be better for me and all that. So I was trying to ask a question that how long into the program can one start applying for a job? Must we wait to the end of the 8 months, or within the 3 month space, can you start applying? Because I came to the UK for a study. I'm through with my study. I've done my post stuff, and in fact, it's fast gone. Before I came across analytics, I think like 3 days ago, when I was scrolling through the Facebook, and I say, I think it's something I just need to do, because here people will say it's better to go through the care thing for you to get COS and all that. But I think I'm a professional, and if I can get a job under that space and get my COS, I think it's better for me to do that. But the question now is that I have limited time. I think I have less than 11 months to go into my visa. So that's why I'm asking that question, because if this will take me 8 months to go, that means I'll be left with just 3 or 4 months. With the new law in the UK that you have to work for a company for 3 months before they can sponsor you and all that. So I really need an answer to that.
All right. Don't meet yourself before, okay? Don't meet yourself. Now, it is always based on individual. All right. That people that are coming to that session without any experience at all. So that kind of person, it might take them time before they start applying to job, because there is no inherent experience that's existing. But there are some people that when they join, they get jobs 1 month after joining. Some get 2 months after joining. Some get maybe a month after the training itself. So there are a lot of factors that play a role now. But for application, what we always advise everybody is that 2 months after joining our program, we expect you to start applying to jobs. Because after that 2 months, you can comfortably know that you've actually learned a certain aspect of the training. For instance, if you're going for the HR analytics role, we expect that after that 2 months, you've actually been able to go through problem solving, you've gone through Excel, you've actually gone through SQL as well, okay? And you have actually scratched Power BI to a certain level, okay? So we expect you to start applying to data-related roles. And with your already background existing in HR, it means that you can actually start shooting for HR roles also. Because if you look at the things that is after SQL, it's now core HR jobs or HR learning path. So with your already existing experience and with the skill that you've been able to embed in it, which is now the data aspect of it, you can instantly start applying to jobs 2 months after registering. For all our program, the guideline is simple. 2 months after joining, we expect you to start applying to jobs. Now, some will land a job that 2 months after joining. Some are going to land 4 months after joining. Some is going to land even 1 month after their own training experience, because there is now different factors that play a role there. I don't know if that makes sense to you. From about 2 months after, we are going to work on your CV and provide an updated CV. And that's the point where we expect everyone to start applying to jobs immediately. Does that answer your question, Informa?
Yeah, it does. Thank you very much for the answer, please. Then another thing, sorry, before you go, I saw that you were answering a lady, is it Chiamaka, this afternoon. All of us were from different zones. It's like past 10 here in the UK. So
Yeah.
the discount you're giving, does it extend to tomorrow, Sunday? Because your timing, I don't think you're in the UK for you to be saying
Okay,
afternoon.
I see. Okay, so what we always love to use is West African time. So by Sunday, West African time, once Sunday is over in West Africa, that 25% discount is off. By Monday, it's now going to be 20%.
Okay.
Right? I think that's the easiest way to put it. So we love to use watts, because I know most people here, we are all blacks. So that's the one place all of us can easily utilize.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Ifoma. Ishmael, your hand is up. Please, I've asked you to mute. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Chukwuemeka. Did I get the name right?
Yes, you did.
Yes, I'm from Ghana.
It's good to have you, Ishmael.
Right. So I want a few clarification. Okay. I'm into the project management space. I have a PMP already, and I want to transition more into. In fact, I'm enjoying the fact that we want to optimize processes to make sure that businesses are flowing. I want to identify the gaps to which, for the reason why things are not moving the way it moves in the project space. So I've been looking at the options of business analysis and data analytics. Now, this is the thing. After identifying the gaps to why businesses are not moving the way they should, I'm that guy who wants to build the system myself to ensure that these things the system I'm building is helping the organization to be able to optimize processes. That's how come I asked the question, the difference between the data analytics and the business analysis. I am in the project management space, so help my understanding a bit on that. Yeah.
All right, so
Thank you.
clearly for you, Ishmael, it is business analysis for you and not data analytics. So it is clear. So since you're looking to build those processes to make it better, it is the business analysis class that you have to be in and not data analytics. So data guys are looking at the numbers. They're looking at the numerical aspect of the business. This is what happened. This is why it happened. This is the figures. But the business analyst is looking at the processes to make it better. So in simple terms, for you, business analysis is the right career path. And because of your already existing experience in project management, it's even way easier for you to transition through that business analysis side. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, Elizabeth, your hand is up. I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead. What if we want both? You can't, unless you can be in both places at the same time, Daniel. So if you can see, the classes are all at the same time. And trust me, it's not advisable for you to be in both. Most of the times when we want to transition into tech, there's always this urge. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do that. That is one major mistake that we always make. Because the easiest way for you to get to where you want to be is choose one path, build yourself on that path, get into it, and now start looking at the secondary parts. Some of us that can comfortably talk about these things, we've been in this space for close to a decade, and that's why we've been able to journey in different parts. But if you're coming new and you want to start jumping into several ones, you are going to end up not getting anyone in the end. Hope that answers your question, Daniel. Yeah, Elizabeth, please go ahead.
All right. Good evening, Chukwuemeka.
Yeah, good evening, Elizabeth.
I don't want it to take time because before I get my question myself, it took me time. So let me ask. The first question is, this 25% discount, I personally, I cannot join the September cohort. I want to join the October cohort. Will there still be discounts for that October? Because as I am, I don't have that $150 and I want to enjoy from this 25% discount. That's that about that. The second question is, the internship we will be doing, as we all know, are we going to be paid if at all is stipend for the internship? Another thing, the third question I have now is that I'm in the UK, I'm schooling, and I want to go into tech. I don't have any tech background. Looking at COS, because I will be graduating by January, and to me, if I should look at it, I desire to have my COS without going through post-study. So I don't know if I can maybe plan getting started by October, and it's possible I get a job, or is it possible to get a sponsor job before? And I'm ending my course by January, but I still have till May for my visa to before the end of my visa. Do you understand? So these are my questions.
All right, don't meet yourself yet, Elizabeth. So the first
Okay.
one, by virtue of the discount rate to still be here in October, truth is, it is not assured. And why I'm saying this is because a friend of mine wanted to buy a car sometime last month, and he was not able to buy it. He went this month, and the price he had then and now was actually different. All right, so it is not really assured because of the constant change in the economy. All right, so what I would advise you to do is to find a way to secure that spot and defer. So if you secure spots now, you can defer that you want to start in October, and then we can now come to a concession on how to go about that starting of October. But it simply means that you secured your spots now, and even though you deferred it to October, you can notice even if there's changes then it won't affect you. All right, that's one. So I won't assure you that the price is going to remain static till October because it's not within our own control. That's one. Then around COS, whether if you start by October, whether you can land job in the next 2 months. The truth is that I can only say yes if I'm the one that is giving jobs to everyone. All right, so remember how the process works. We are going to teach you the learning aspects. We're going to help you package the packaging aspects. We're going to scrape jobs and provide you those links to apply. But the responsibility of applying to jobs is on people themselves. And because I don't have control on this, that's why I can't really say, okay, it's assured. Because it's not dependent on how well you apply. We always advise our students at least 10 jobs per day. But people don't even do that. So if that is not done, we really don't have control over it. I don't know if you understand. So I'm not going to say you're going to get job instantly or 1 month after, but if you are able to actually go through what we are teaching you and apply 10 jobs per day, before that 8 months is over, you are assured to land a job because it's a winning formula that worked for us so well. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question, Elizabeth.
Yes, you have.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right, so Mba, I'm going to come back to you and ask you to unmute shortly, but quickly, let me go through the comment section and see if there are questions for me. Kindly convert this payment to pounds so that I understand how much I should pay. Okay, in pounds right now, Elijah, are you there? That should be around 615. Right now, if I'm correct, should be around 615, but someone is going to answer you right now, Caleb, so that you can actually have the correct conversion immediately. All right, so let me scroll up and see if there are questions for you. I'm a math teacher. What course do you recommend, David? Okay, David, to be honest, your question is insufficient for me to provide a response for you. Because as a math teacher, by virtue of teaching, you've done business analysis, which is doing with stakeholders. And as someone that's very, very good in math, as a math teacher, it means that you also have affinity towards statistics, which is now data science. So we need to have a proper conversation, look at your background, look at things that you've done before now to get you the perfect fit, all right? Or easily you can take the quiz and be able to get the one that is also best suitable for you. And in the community you're coming through, there's a link they can also use to book a one-on-one conversation where someone like myself is going to look at your background and find the best fit for you, right? So just that single sentence, I'm a math teacher, may be insufficient for me to provide you a valid response. Okay, Ikeria, I've already enrolled in the internship program, which is remote. Can you grant a physical internship meeting? Okay, Ikeria, we are fully a remote company, all right? We are fully a remote company. So what that means is that we do not actually have some of these physical possibilities, all right? So right now, tomorrow I can be in Namibia, I'm nomadic, next time I can be in a different country, because that's what the tech ecosystem actually offers you fully. All right, so we are fully remote, so physical interactions are somewhat limited. All right, if you're actually following us, you know that right now we are having a very, very interesting conversation in Canada with in Edmonton. So we are always on the move in several places. I hope that answers your question, Eukarya. What if we want both? I've answered that, Daniel. I took it and got agile. I don't like it at all. That's Daniel. Okay, just book the one-on-one conversation and we are definitely going to actually be there. Hi, Mba, I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead with your own question now. Hi, Mba, are you there? I've asked you to unmute a second time. Please go ahead with your own question, Mba. Can anyone hear me? Mba, are you there? Okay, Mba is not unmuting. Hi, Elizabeth. I've asked you to unmute again. Seems your hand is still up. I think that should be, I think there's a question I missed, Elizabeth.
Yes, that's why I've come back. I remember you did not answer one of my questions. The
Can you hear me?
internship aspect.
Okay. So for the internship is not, we are not going to be paying you. Remember, we are getting you into a company for you to get that experience. So it is not a paid internship from our own side. All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right,
Okay,
Mba, please
please.
go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
It's loud and clear.
Okay, thank you first of all for such a wonderful presentation. I um I think that what goes for me the most is the fact that there's a room for those who do not have a tech background as much. Um, I think that speaks of consistency. But okay. But I think that there is a greater concern for majority of us who are here right now, because listening to others speak, I can deduce that there's a good number of students population from what you have here. So it does appear to us that you'll be doing us a lot more favor if you probably expand maybe the duration for such window for payment. It will do us good. uh, for those persons who are going to fall on the wayside, probably pushing to October. I, you know what it does when you have the initial motivation to do a tax, and then something comes in between. So, in the alternative, I just want to make a recommendation. Is it possible that, okay, if I'm not available for this cohort because I couldn't pay 150, but maybe I could pay 100, and still be accommodated maybe before the next cohort, if I balance up the payments just before the next cohort?
Okay, all right. I understand what you mean. You meant to do installments before October. All right, so that can work. See what I want you to do, Mba. Send an email. All right, because some of these concessions, because the website is built to run on a certain algorithm. Okay, it's already static, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. All right, but I need to send an email to, let me check. All right, send an email to also enquiries or admissions, and someone is going to be in conversation with you. So this email that is right here, just send an email to it. So I fully understand what you're trying to mention. So you want to do it installment and compile it, and then once it's complete by October, you start off then. All right, send an email, and then someone is going to personally converse with you on that direction. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, you can see the email, right? Right, but everyone that is actually trying to do a conversation, please, as much as possible, you can, but please make sure that it goes out today, because I can't give you a concession that by Monday, is somehow they're asking for a concession, and then by Monday, it has entirely changed to a very different pricing. So please make sure that you reach out instantly, at least today, so that by tomorrow, you are already also in the process. Hi, Kira. I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead with your own question. I think Kira should be the last person. They'll round up. Yeah, Kira, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so my question is based on the BA. I think I've asked this question before, but when you talked about the how you segmented BA into three groups, I think you started with is the project management. I don't know. You said project management, and then you said no, you started with data analysis, and then you started with, and then secondly project management, and then the BA. So for me, who is going to be learning BA, are you saying that in order for me to have, like, when I want to build my portfolio, first of all, my background is UX, and in UX you do a lot of data consideration, research, and URO and all that. So a lot of pain points and decision making, which I think in all of the courses, the best course that suits me is BA. I hope I'm right.
Yes, you are. So clearly,
So
clearly,
so my question is, when you broke the BA, like before you get to the BA, like if I really want to start applying for jobs or whatever, are you saying that in my first 2 months, while I'm learning the first part, which is the data analysis, I can actually apply for a role as a data analyst. And then after another 2 months, I can move to project management, and then the next month to be BA. I needed clarity on that.
Yes. So in simple terms, Eukarya, the answer is yes. All right. So because it's sequential. So there are some roles that we even advertise under business analysis, but what they are looking for might be someone that understands that Excel, Power BI, and SQL. So you can apply to such roles, and you can also apply to roles fully in the data analytics space. Same thing for the agile project management. After you've passed through that same learning journey, can apply to specific roles as a project manager. All right. And then once you've completed the BA, can also start shooting for roles in the entire business analysis domain. We've had students that they pass through business analysis, but they are working as data analysts right now. We have some that have passed through business analysis that are working as project analysts. And we have some that work as business analysts and are working as business analysts. I don't know if that's clear enough for you now.
Partially. So my second question would be that I know that, like you mentioned, that in tech, like I just tell people that tech is in every industry, whether tech itself, finance, health, you find tech everywhere. Same as BA, because it has to do with the end parts of the product of a business, like someone who starts the process from the beginning to the end. So, like you were trying to say now, as a BA, are we going to be exposed to other potential roles that we can actually get into? So, for example, the project I've done in the past as a UX, UI, or user research person has to do with designing apps that has to do with health. So I'm more exposed to or very much interested in applications or apps that would help the health space. So we might be a, can I also, even though I have interest in the health space center, as a BA, I am not tied to, okay, this is what I want to do. Can I also work in every other industry? And what are the other roles that I can actually fit into?
All right, fantastic question. You could have fantastic question. Now, as a business analyst, you can actually move into any of those sectors. And one major thing I've realized is that most time companies brand names based on their own environment. For instance, if you're looking on my screen now, the business analyst mentioned on this slide, it was called process automation specialist. All right, you can see process automation specialist, that's what it's called here. If you come to this other page, you see business analysis as well, and it was called another name entirely, and that is management and organization analyst. All right. So what I always advise people to do is that look for jobs using the skill that you have. For instance, you've learned process mapping, you've learned Agile and Scrum for projects, you've learned illustration method, stakeholder analysis. Search for jobs using your skill and not with the name. Because most time, companies constantly may not advertise just as a business analyst. Because on this World Economic Forum report, you can see that it's called management and operations analyst. And on the first page, it's called organization and process automation analyst. So constantly, companies use different names. So there are also different varieties of names you're going to see under business analysis. All right, you're going to see the ones that is going to tell you, oh, I'm looking for just a process automator. I'm looking for a business manager. I'm looking for a business analyst proper. I'm looking for an organizational process manager. So different names. But it's now you, when you look at the job description, that you understand that what these guys need is just a business analyst. I was helping an organization to hire for a role. They said they wanted a chief of staff. I was asking myself, okay, which one is chief of staff? And when I went through the job description, they just need head of HR. And they branded theirs to be head chief of staff. So you have to look at the job description most time to now find where you can easily be able to embed yourself into. But make sure you look for jobs using your skill and not just with the title. The title is just a name, but your skill is what differentiates you. I don't know if that answers your question, Eukarya. I believe it has answered your question. We are already 28 minutes beyond our supposed closure time. And I think I still have one more question in the comment section. Okay, you've said, okay, fantastic. And that question is from Pat. I'm in healthcare space, pharmacist, interested in business analysis. Can I niche down on healthcare business analysis by building projects in the health tech space to boost my portfolio? Fantastic question, Pat. Now, personally, you can decide to niche down. When I transitioned, I was in the banking sector. So I was even working with data that was in the banking space. So it was easier for me to transition and still remain in the financial space and then move to a fintech. All right. So for you that you're in the health space, you have access to data. You can practice with data that you have. But depending on the portfolio you work with from our own side, because we play in the consulting space, right? So it also depends on the available consulting business at that moment. For instance, let's assume you registered by September. We are currently working with some financial institutions. We are working with a fintech. We're also working with a health industry. So most of the projects you'll be working might be related to those sectors. So it depends on the consulting that we're doing at that very much. Remember, the projects are not fictitious. It's an actual project that we are also doing. Just that you might be seeing it as a different name because maybe the company, by virtue of data protection, didn't agree for us to actually release that data. So when they play from that aspect, we have to now modify the name, but we're actually working on that same project. Okay, so the project you work on depends on the consulting that we are doing at that very moment, but it's always going to cut across at least more than 3 different sectors of the economy. So why it's going through that at least more than 3 different sectors is so that you can be able to shoot into 3 different sectors of the economy. We don't advise you to work and streamline yourself that early on because it limits your job application in the end. I hope that answers your question, Pat. Okay, please share the PDF. All right, so I think I've answered everyone's question. You guys really held me hostage right now. Thank you so much for being here with us till this very moment. It's not easy for you guys to listen to me for the last 2 hours, 30 minutes. So I really, really appreciate you being here all through our conversation. Now, the next step is for you to take action. Like I said, by Monday, the discount is going to be off. Best is for you to take action this afternoon because once it's over, you're going to be paying a different pricing. All right. When I transitioned into tech, if I tell you guys the amount I paid, it was very, very minimal. But now we're all seeing the impact that tech has. So it's always a continuous moving pricing. And always advise people to take action as fast as possible. And for the people that are able to get their own registered in the next 24 hours, you have access to Amdari Vault that should be coming up at least your 5th month into the program. This vault gives you access to several guided projects that you can work on. But this is a second bonus for people that are able to secure their own spot within the next 24 hours. So thank you so much to everyone. We got into the Better Advisor program last year with one aim, and that is to help more people to break into tech. Last year, we did 355 people moving into tech, and this year we want to double that number. Okay, and that is why we are here preaching this good news. And once you are done, you also get access to all these certificates that is fully accredited by the ACTD, American Council of Training and Development. But remember, certificate is just a validation of the knowledge that we are going to provide you with. So everything on my slide, there are all success stories of people that have been able to go through this session before you. So thank you so much to everyone, and I can't wait to see you come September 6th or October 4th in any of our classes. Remember, the best time to get into tech is yesterday. The next best time is today. So on behalf of my founder, Adeza Suleiman, my co-founder, Ifemena Ipru, and of course, every single person that made this journey a very, very successful one, Obong, Elijah, and Steven, I say a very big thank you to each and every one of you, and to you that are listening to us at this very moment. Thank you, and make sure that you break into tech. Cheers, everyone, and bye for now. Bye, guys.